everybody, and welcome back.
We have a long road. We can talk about any kisses on your journey.
You know this for sure.
Well, I mean, I am the captain now.
He looks to you, he's got his saber in his hand. Captain.
Cowards!
He's gonna fire at Rumik.
Why do we do this? We give people the option to run, and then we hurt them when they...
Natural 20!
God damn.
Non-lethal, you fucking...
In Season 2, Chapter 47, One Night Strand. The room settled into a relative calm after the last banished Goliaths faded from view, leaving each of us on different levels of the towering expanse of the holding pens. Reconvening on the bottom floor, we spared only the briefest of moments to acknowledge our achievement before Graven expressed a pressing concern. That without destroying the two halves of Ka'uzni's relic, the God of Light would always have a potential foothold to reestablish himself in this world by appointing another cleric. Not wanting to risk the Shade Assembly's curiosity getting the best of them, Graven collected the pieces and dropped them into the glowing fissure that had already been intended to be their final resting place before Aswin's lust for power proved too strong to resist a fight. A curious thing happened, however, when the relics came to rest upon the arcane magma. Seemingly defying physics, the metal shards simply refused to submerge, and seconds later a sizable hole was punctured through the ceiling, where a great radiant rope descended to attach itself to what was left of Ka'uzni's symbol. This divine strand was far too potent for any mundane weapon to contest, and with the walls of the holding pens crumbling down around us, there was only one option left. Protect Orba long enough for her to ritually summon her Reaper's Scythe. Rumik sacrificed his body to the falling debris while Graven and Sascha kept the strand from pulling the relic free. 10 minutes of agony during which Orba spoke her incantations until she could finally wield the weapon of extinction. With one effortless slice that stood in contrast to our brute force methods of stalling for time, Orba severed the strand, and with it the last vestige of influence that had manifested here in the desperation of a meddling god. The holy relic disappeared beneath the bubbling surface, but the integrity of the chamber had passed the point of no return, and if we couldn't find a way out quickly, there was a good chance we'd be permanently entombed. The entrance to the holding pens was sealed shut thanks to the activation of the soul shelter, but luckily we discovered a cell that had deteriorated enough to reveal a hollow wall. Contained within was a dented pipe, similar to the one that we'd used earlier to sneak inside, but smaller, and transporting liquids rather than gases. Prying open one of the panels gave us access to the interior, and with no way to know where we'd be deposited, but no other viable alternative, we exchanged skeptical glances and hopped inside. As the sounds of destruction faded behind us, we cascaded down the chute that accelerated in single-file lines, sometimes inescapably scraping against the toxic sludge clinging to the walls, which was especially irritating to Sascha, who found himself paralyzed by carrion crawler mucus for the latter half of the ride. Eventually, we were dumped into a runoff basin, which wouldn't have been particularly dangerous except for the fact that it was preceded by a 50-foot drop, and a lack of ability to position oneself resulted in Orba showcasing a spectacular belly flop that knocked her out cold on impact. Her Reaper form meant that she couldn't be revived, only stabilized. But a much-needed stroke of good fortune followed when Sascha was able to see past some illusions on the shores of Finlock Forest, fake rocks obscuring kayaks that we could borrow to facilitate our escape. Crossing the bay now in the opposite direction, we looked back to see smoke rising from the shade assembly, and we could only guess as to how much damage we'd caused when the pens collapsed. Keeping a low profile for a bit seemed prudent, so after sending Rumik off as a mind-spike decoy, we settled back within the foggy harbor to lick our wounds. It was here that we were finally able to have a heartfelt conversation about all we'd been through, all we'd accomplished, and all we'd lost. Sascha serenaded us with a song of mourning on his bagpipes, and we vowed to do our best to reunite the once great il-Vigos clan with one honorary Tiefling member in the fold. Completely spent in all ways physical and emotional, we set watches and we slept. But it was during Graven's amblings that a shadowy silhouette appeared in the fog, and as we waited to see who might be approaching, we asked ourselves, had someone from the Shade Assembly tracked us down to make us answer for our grievous trespass? Did we have many il-Vigos and il-Cravo reunions to look forward to in the near future? And would the history books remember that Orba, slasher of Godstrands, was very nearly defeated by a wet, leaky tube? We find out now on Season 2, Chapter 48 of A Peek Beneath the Veil.
I wanted a belly flop. I wanted that.
Real quick.
Yes.
I have not finished my long rest yet.
You have not finished it.
I don't remember what my HP was at. We'll see. Never mind. It's fine. I'll figure it out.
But we have.
No, not yet, but
Whoops.
we'll get
Just checking.
As cool moisture clings to your skin, you maintain stoic stillness as the blotchy shadow gets closer and closer. An ill-defined shape granted even less clarity by the groggy fatigue of your eyes and the dusky hour at which it presents itself. Without turning your head to look back at the docks, you try to visualize where each of your companions are in the corners of the cabin where they're sleeping. A fighter's instinct to predict who could be first out the door if you needed to call for help. With little to go on visually, you flex your other senses. The lack of a bestial odor that might precede certain animal species. The shuffling slide step that might be mistaken for more than two legs, if not for the fact that you know that it's traveling downhill at an angle, which might produce kind of an awkward gait as one tries to maintain their balance. There's a slight creaking for what sounds like pieces of a leather armor shifting. And then the silhouette looks like it splits into two. One larger primary form, and then a long, thin outline, like the protracted blade of a greatsword. The figure comes to a stop maybe 15 to 20 feet away, and like you, stands unmoving by the rocky shore.
Now, can I get an idea of how tall they are?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, yeah.
21.
Shorter than you.
Okay.
Still pretty tall, like over 6 feet tall.
Yep.
Probably, you'd estimate.
Anything else from the shape?
Humanoid in shape?
Right. No features. No.
With the fog, I mean, you've seen it, unless you're easily less than 10 feet from someone. Like you can't even. You just kind of disappear into the fog.
And obviously they can see that there's a figure.
You
that
can see a
far
silhouette,
away.
so presumably they can see a silhouette of some kind.
Yep.
Yes. Sort of.
I'll wait for a few seconds, 10, 15 seconds. Who are you?
You see the thinner part of the silhouette that looks like, a weapon or a blade of some kind. Just kind of shifts a little bit, almost like the person holding it is sort of like moving it back and forth just to feel it in their wrist, in their hand, sort of testing the weight of it. But then it kind of lowers a little bit down to its side. I feel I know you well just from standing on this beach. You had clerical abilities, that is to say, magical clerical abilities. Yet you have no religious insignia on your armor, nor a holy relic on your person. And a woman steps forward through the fog, tall, with seasoned leather armor, and reddish-brown hair that's been pulled back into a bun, mostly back into a bun, though several strands have come loose due to the fact that it appears she's somewhat waterlogged, not soaking wet, but damp, as if she was maybe toiling in the waves not too long ago, maybe a couple hours ago. And as she sort of comes in through the fog, perhaps not a perfect relationship with your god.
How much do you know?
More than you think. Less than I'd like. Your false diversion into the woods was a well-conceived gambit. You probably saved yourself from having to butt heads with one of the Assembly's sentinel constructs that they'd sent out to find survivors, at least for now. Do you know what made me turn around? Do you know what made me think you might be here? She takes the greatsword, and with those loops on her back that you've seen before, she puts a hand on the flat of the blade, and I am friendly with one of the guards that supervises the guest quarters. And he told me a couple of days ago that one of our tenants, an alchemist known to some, asked him to take a note here to this harbor, on the off chance that a friend of his was passing through. If Grimari had reason to believe you might be coming here, then I had reason to believe you might come back.
Fuck. How? How long have you known that he was here?
Sometime. He was granted asylum, not by me, but he made it here, safely, and there he's remained. Incidentally, that friend who supervises the guest quarters, it seems you've put him out of a job.
Was anyone hurt?
No. No casualties. At least none that were a result of the crumbling. You left a casualty behind, as well as a few creatures that might have remained in the holding pens. Before I regale you with details, are you injured? And did the others make it out alive?
I trust that you're not here to turn me in.
I'm not. The wizards of the Assembly will survive without doling out their righteous rebuke. But until they've cooled off, I doubt you would survive the rebuking process. I've no interest in handing you to your death.
Nor anyone who is with me.
No.
Some you know, some you may not.
Made a few more friends along the way, did you?
Rediscovered, as it were. Orba is here with me. Erland and Saphira, however, pulled into the void.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Rumik and Sascha.
These are not names familiar to me. Or perhaps you're not asking.
My brothers. Pulled from that same void. They are with me now.
That must be a relief of sorts.
Indescribable, really. Can we finish our rest here, or do we need to move now?
I think you can stay here. If they haven't located you so far, it means that the scouts have moved further away from the island. I would say as long as you're gone by noon tomorrow, you should be all right. I'm fine, thank you for asking.
Right.
A bit rattled by the suddenness of it all. Besides the one that you brought about, and again a few creatures of the holding pens, everyone of the assembly made it out. So, while you are indeed an enemy of the assembly, you are not yet a murderer of the assembly. There is some solace in that.
You said you didn't know how Shangri-La made her contact who she was.
Wasn't my contract.
But you knew. You knew that it was here. You knew. Did you know about the soul shelter?
Yes.
And you knew that what I would need to do there.
I had my ideas. Your warning regarding the half-orc was valuable. But as it turned out, Mr. Tibbets sounded the alarm before that.
Yes.
In his stunning return to a place that I have to believe he thought he'd never step foot in again, Josco was adamant that this was a unique problem and a unique opportunity. The Assembly is not stupid, and their many mages are aware that the growing influence of the meddling gods could in the future spell trouble for those that don't draw their power from the divine. Josco convinced them that this was a chance to take the first step toward revising this impending godly turmoil.
Did he have to name me?
I don't think he had to.
But he did.
Yes.
And do you not think that the Shade Assembly will not hunt me? And my family?
I think they have bigger problems at the moment. You see, the plan was whoever showed up first, you or the other cleric, would be captured. Whoever showed up second would be killed on sight. And then they'd lock down the soul shelter, and I suppose have their choice between dispatching or imprisoning the remaining cleric. It was their estimation that the first to arrive couldn't simply be killed outright because the other might know, and that also might grow in power. They felt the same about confiscating the broken holy relic, that the other would sense this separation somehow, so they allowed him to keep it, despite the danger that it might present. Lucky for you, you found a way inside that didn't involve knocking on the front door. You'll have to tell me about that sometime.
Maybe.
Once the arcane eyes discovered that you'd already made it into the holding pens, the best course of action seemed to simply be let you have it out. Kuuzni versus Kuuzni, and just deal with whoever emerges victorious.
I'm glad, obviously, that things ended the way they did, but I can't help but feeling like a fucking pawn again.
It was my idea to open the Chimera cage first. I held the belief that if you managed to slay it, it would weaken both of you. You because it seemed to be your way out, and the other cleric because he would have failed in his duties to his god. Also, on a personal level, I thought that if you were to die at any point during the confrontation, you would have liked to die knowing you got a fair shot at the thing you'd been searching for all this time. The Assembly took my advice and let the Chimera out first. But when the beast was slain and the time came for the other cleric to be released, a funny thing happened. The young Tiefling, seemingly out of nowhere, managed to locate the emergency lever for the soul shelter. You see, this was supposed to happen, but not so soon. One cleric was supposed to be dead first, and we needed some of our people inside the holding pens before the lockdown. Otherwise, it sort of defeats the purpose. We could have to open it in order to deal with the victor. Our mages were looking around in disbelief, and what do they discover? That Josco Tibbets is nowhere to be found. You see, I think Josco knew that if left alone inside the soul shelter, you would attempt to destroy the relics, and in doing so, perhaps destroy some of the Shade Assembly itself. It's quite flattering, if you think about it. Not only did Josco trust you to win, he trusted Orba to have the strength to cut the strand. Perhaps one of the only among us who believed that you would emerge such. I see now that Josco, in his time here, didn't just grow disillusioned with the Shade Assembly. He believes that it does more harm than good. And I don't know what to think.
Thinking about joining him in retirement, are you?
Probably not. Don't want to have a target on my back, at least not one that large. An entity this powerful proclaiming neutrality is complicated, as I have seen with the business of the myconid extract. Some in favor, some against, some helping the trade, some harming it. Seems a bit like going in circles sometimes. Your own people of your own assembly acting in opposition to your interests. So the assembly got a little bit of what it wanted, less meddling influence from the gods, and Josco seemed to get everything that he wanted. And I can only hope that you and Orba are just a little bit better for it as well.
The myconid trade.
Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Somehow, still so close. I have something.
She waits.
We came into possession of some spores. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck we would do with them. There was a time where we thought we were going to have to talk our way out of the assembly, so I thought that they might work as some kind of bargaining chip. Are they of use to Grimari or the assembly?
Do you want to give them to Grimari?
He's not a prisoner.
No.
And he fled from the trade.
He did.
Would you trust him with it?
Yes.
Would you worry about explaining where you got them from?
No.
Right. Reach into my bag, take out the lead lines.
She reaches her hand out for the bag, and do you hand the bag to her? When she grabs it, she's surprised at the weight. Like, she didn't know it was lead lined.
Yeah. It's lined with lead.
A protection worth taking.
Yes. The myconid poisoning on the Chimera itself. Were the Shade Assembly ever... Were you all ever able to study it or glean anything from it?
I understand that part of the agreement with the parties in question that were paying to keep it there, part of what they were paying for was to make sure that no one touched it until you got there.
Shit.
So no experimentation.
One of the last things Kouzny said to me, which may have been another lie, was that what the Chimera knows dies with it.
Somewhere it's been, perhaps.
Exactly. Where it came in contact with the mic and where it was poisoned and why he was so focused on it.
Have you seen you have moments of lucidity where memories come back to you? Anything?
I'll kind of think back to when he first told me about it, and maybe when I first saw it, and if there was any kind of connections or.
Give me a history check.
Oh my gosh, dude.
13.
None of your small bits of your own memories seem to. You can't sink your teeth into anything. You can't sort of pick out anything, but something about the memories when you wielded Bouraj's totem. And there was a time where he sort of watched the Chimera fly overhead, as it seemed to be he was tracking it or sort of positioning its movements, trying to get it where he wanted it to go. As you were looking through that memory, you were seeing it through Bouraj's eyes. So it was sort of in a first-person view. But as you sort of focus and think and just try and let those memories wash back over you, you get kind of a third-person view of that same event, just like seeing kind of the back of Bouraj's head, and something about the look on his face sparks an interest in you. Give me an insight check.
Oh, come on, let's go.
I'm usually pretty good at those. Please. 17.
17. The look that you see on his face, you know that several times the il-Vigos and various Goliaths had tracked this Chimera to different points across the continent, but something about the look on his face is a look of the first time he saw it. Like that memory was the first time that maybe Bouraj had managed to track the Chimera.
Okay. Which
So-
is before the time that he was with
Oh
them
yes,
in the
yeah,
mountains.
before that.
Okay.
So something about that, maybe that could have been. That's the farthest back memory, sort of associated with the Chimera. So maybe where he found the Chimera there could have something to do with, where it was poisoned, and the location isn't familiar to you. You can't be like, can I picture that location?
Yeah.
But
Were
there
I to
is
talk to
some-
Bouraj.
Indeed,
Yes.
there is someone who might happen to know where that location was.
Bouraj. And I've got the totem on me here. By the way, the Assembly want this back. I'm rather fond of it.
Taking souvenirs, are you? I suppose it's up to you to decide whether one totem outweighs the damage that you've caused to the Assembly itself. I don't think that that's high on their list of priorities.
Fair. Were someone able to reach Bouraj? He's imprisoned by the Gentle Void in... You probably know this. There's something about the location he first set eyes upon it. Something about that. I don't know where it is, but... If we could find out where he first saw it, that is some clue, I think.
If I run into Bouraj, I'll ask him.
I can no longer use sending. You might come across somebody who can use that before I do.
It would have to be someone who knew Bouraj personally.
That's right. Do they allow letters into the prison?
Perhaps. I do think that is about time for me to resume my half-hearted attempt to locate you or Mr. Tibbets. And then I'm off to Navikapura for another mission more closely aligned to my personal interests. Mr. Mohan Fowler has sent word that he's assembling a crew for something. Something productively destructive. Sounds like it's picking up right where I left off in the Shaki Mountains, which suits me just fine.
How did that go, by the way, when you left the Shaki Mountains?
I believe I tried to explain to it in some modest detail in the letters that I wrote.
Right.
I've been waiting for someone to stick their head above the ground, maybe lead me somewhere else where some of the source of this is happening. Mr. Mohan's lead is better than any one that I've managed to acquire thus far. He seems to be aware that there is a boat that is coming to and from some of the other continents, carrying quite a bit of myconid extract. Now, the boat seems to be going from Antisuyu to the other continents, but I would have to imagine that those in charge, the captain and his crewmaster, would have to be very well connected in the Gentle Void. You don't get a post like that without being someone of significance.
Right. Were you not able to have a frank conversation with Grimari about the whole thing and his involvement?
I spoke to Grimari.
Do you feel as though he was forthright with you?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I was sort of hoping Erland would talk to him, and then tell me.
Maybe Orba or my sister seem to have had some intuition about the gods. There may yet be a way to claw them back.
Are we still talking about Grimari?
No. Do you know of a way?
Not my area of expertise.
That time in the mountains when you obscured him from me. What was that about?
What monikers have you heard thus far?
Bum slave?
Josco Bumslave Tibbets, yes.
Vulture?
Winston the Vulture Muldoon, yes. And Jillian Goddaughter Casivo.
I am honored.
No need to be honored. As of now, I find myself retired, and so the name is no longer necessary. Don't spoil my retirement party.
Wouldn't dare. Congratulations.
I have a connection to the divine that is unique as well. I find that it affords me certain abilities and certain pains.
How old are you?
Impolite.
Forgive me.
As I said, you are not the Assembly's #1 priority, but you're not far from it either. You should keep your heads low. Avoid cities. If you must enter one, do so with great caution. I'm sure it wouldn't surprise you to know that the Assembly has eyes in oh so many places.
Truly.
And I would, of course, avoid the nearby woods, at least for a day or so. The Mind Spike spell was leading them in there, so I imagine they'll be combing through it. Stick to the coast. If you have some business that would take you to the desert, or the mountains, or the middle of the ocean, this would be the perfect time to do it.
Right. Where's the first stop on... Oh, right, Navik of Pura.
Once the chase is lost, the trail gone, I imagine a few stalwarts will continue to track Josco Tibbets, and I will take my leave.
Do you have any interest in finding him?
Interest? Yes.
Not high on your list, though.
No.
When do you expect to set out for the ocean?
I think Mr. Fowler was hoping to set out within the week, so...
Well, I find myself with a lot of catching up to do, but if for some reason I can be of help, perhaps I'll see you there.
It would be nice to see a friendly face.
Thank you, Jillian,
You're welcome.
for choosing me.
We're a long way from there, aren't we?
Thank you for putting your faith in Orba.
I feel fortunate that we almost crashed into her on the coast there.
Some kind of fate.
Perhaps.
Reach out an arm. And I'll pull her in and put the other arm around her.
She doesn't fully hug you, but you feel like a little... Wake up tomorrow, take a long walk. Beach is here, love. Yeah. She kind of disappears into the fog. You watch the silhouette kind of get further and further away, smaller, smaller, smaller. And you return to the silence of the evening.
Bunch of stuff I probably should have asked her. I'm sorry.
What? Oh, wait.
You wanted to talk to her. I know you did.
Nobody wants to talk to me.
Oh.
I'll go back.
You finish your watch. You return. I think, were you the last watch, or was there one more watch
I
after?
think it was-
Orba was the final watch.
Yeah. Ooh.
The rest of the watch goes by.
Yeah.
Comes time for Orba.
I'll just wake her up. That's it.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. Quiet night?
Sun's already coming up.
Good night.
Graven, mind racing, sort of goes into the corner of the cabin there and looks around, sees his sleeping brothers, and watches Orba disappear out the door of the cabin.
Yeah, not yet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want you to run after her.
Having already experienced morning in the harbor before, the dull sun that permeates through the fog is not a stranger to you. It's not quite the same, but for you mountain-dwelling folk, it reminds you of daytime snowstorms in the Wixas, where the crowded air was both cool and warm, and the interfering clouds couldn't help but reveal the position of the sun with their illuminated outlines. With the time that Rumik and Sascha spent in a state somewhere between sleep and wake, to open your eyes now, refreshed, the colors of the world never seemed so vivid. The textures so detailed, every grain of sand, every knot in the wooden planks, every pallet of foam resting on the surface of the water. For creatures so physically disciplined, the time off that you spent in stasis hasn't done your body any favors, with aches from head to toe that are not just from injury, but after sudden exertion after lack of use. Rising above the rest of the ailments, however, are Rumik's hands and Sascha's head, the former not knowing when he'll be able to make a fist or hold an axe without discomfort, and the latter throbbing from rattling around the interior of the drainage pipe while paralyzed. The group picks themselves up off the floor, feeling very much like the events of last night were a dream. But even if the brothers il-Vigos weren't present to remind you that that isn't the case, an unburdened sensation clings to you that's equal parts unfamiliar and delightful. So, the sun is coming through the fog enough to sort of light up the area around you, but it's dim just because of the thickness of the fog. You still can't see the forest from here, you can't see out on the path. So, as long as you remain within the fog of the harbor, you're sort of obscured from any outside eyes or influence.
Before I finish my long rest,
Yes.
Getting to the Barrens, is that more than a day?
It is. It's a little more than a day, yeah.
Okay.
It's probably about a day to Verne, and then the Barrens is a little bit south of Verne.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you guys, and as you travel that map that you guys have, you'll start to reappear on that map, sort of, if you were to head down the coast there. Verne is the first kind of landmark as you're coming down along the coast on the eastern side.
Okie dokie.
Everyone feeling refreshed?
There's no need to shout. The floor was more comfortable than wherever we were, so I'm happy to have slept.
Good, good. Your maneuver into the woods, I think, successful.
Good.
We should travel down the coast, though. I think they'll still be patrolling the woods. In fact, I know it for a fact.
How do you know?
What?
Jillian.
What?
She was here.
When?
In the night.
What?
Yes.
You said it was a quiet night.
I know, I just...
You lied to me.
We still need to just keep it... We need to stay under the radar still. They're still looking for us.
What'd she say?
Stuff, they're looking for us,
Okay.
but that we're not their number one priority. And this was all planned. Meticulously planned. Except, you said Josco was the one that helped you pull that string.
Yeah, he sent me like 8 messages.
Yeah, well, he wasn't supposed to.
Huh?
Yeah, they were... Let's get on the road, but
Yeah.
let's make sure we get everything out of this hole, and we should travel along the coast, as I said, south. Is there anything we need to do before we leave here?
I don't know.
Boats have been destroyed.
Yes, I ditched those coats. I'm not keeping any of those shade assembly coats, unless you really want them.
No, I don't think I do.
All right, good.
And you guys are seeing Graven now with kind of like a little renewed vigor and purpose after like the events of the night before were so heavy, even in a kind of somber celebration the night before. Just like already the gears are turning, like he seems very active. And you don't know Jillian personally, but Graven, you can see that he seems so confident in like, we need to go down the coast, we can't go in the forest. Like whatever this conversation was seemed to really have an impact on his sort of demeanor compared to the night before.
I'll lead the way if you'd like.
Please.
All right.
Does everybody have their long rest completed?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have to do anything. It's just check my boxes.
And you've handed me the Mace of Menace
Yes.
and Metal Maul to hold on to for now.
Yes, please.
Tosses his younger brother some
Yeah.
shit to carry.
More than happy.
Too much shit.
I guess I'll
As we're kind of gathering our stuff and getting together here. Yes, they knew, obviously, that as I said, I warned Jillian about another cleric, and that was helpful. But there was always the idea that whoever arrived first would be captured, and whoever arrived second would be killed immediately. So, luckily, we found our way in through the back door. Again, you closed us in, you and Josco closed us in, so that the next part of their plan was to send operatives in to make sure that none of us left alive. Or none of the clerics did. I don't know if they had any idea that there would be any people foolish enough to join me.
Well, yeah, I guess I messed up a lot of stuff then, huh?
I mean, no, you brought about the culmination of exactly what they wanted to happen. They didn't dream that would have happened.
I guess. I don't know if there's, holding pens being pulverized was part of the plan, but we've done worse. No, probably not.
Probably not at all.
It's gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've done worse than collapse an entire fortress.
I don't feel as bad about it.
Right.
Maybe that's what I'm weighing it with. I felt worse about other stuff.
She's felt worse, she hasn't done worse.
Well, we're all alive. You and Graven, and I would say that's a success.
Yes. Yes. But another detail she gave me. Her operative name.
Yeah?
Now I feel like I'm telling tales out of school.
What? What is it?
I'll tell you later.
Graven, what is going on with you?
It's exciting to see her again.
You do like her. I totally said that.
Oh my
I
God.
called it. Did you?
Did I what?
Did you like give her a kiss or something?
No. What are you looking at me like that for?
I was just curious as well. I don't know.
Graven, did you kiss her?
No, I didn't kiss her.
She's really cool. She's really pretty too.
Sounds like you should have kissed her.
Why didn't you kiss her?
Why did I? We're traveling south.
Kind of Goliath is afraid to kiss a beautiful woman.
This is for another time.
We have a long road. We can talk about any kisses on your journey.
Oh my God. This is. Why are we talking about this? We need to go south.
Brought it up.
I know. She's headed out to sea. The ship, the Myconid trade ship.
Oh,
that
no,
Saphira learned. Yes. She'll be in Navikapura in the next week.
That's excellent.
I mean, I didn't tell her about our connection with Cliff. I thought that should remain on the lowdown for now. But she said to stay away maybe from the major city. Maybe once we get close, we can just send word in, or one of Cliff's people might be looking out for us.
Yeah, well, now
Maybe
that you
maybe
can...
we don't just strut into the city.
Okay, yeah, now you can send messages, so...
Well, I could send a small animal with a message.
Oh, good.
If you
Yes.
need me to.
And I don't think anybody will be looking for you two. So that could be helpful, yes.
Okay. Yeah, alright, okay.
You're sure that the mind trap, they don't know.
They sent the constructs into the woods after that, and are sweeping the woods as we speak, so it worked, yeah.
All right.
I certainly can't track you now, no. It was Jillian's knowledge that Grimari knew that Erland had been out here. That sent her here, or to where we were, because we're already walking south now.
You guys haven't left the fog yet.
Ah,
as far
damn
as
it.
I
All
know.
right, yeah. Yeah, gathering
Until you
our
tell
stuff.
me, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
Getting all your things together.
So that's how she found us, because Grimari knew that Erland was here previous.
Yes, he knew to have somebody put a note in the bushes.
Grimari didn't actually put the note in the bushes?
No, it was somebody else.
Because like hearing all these names, you're like,
Sorry, this is weeks worth of information. Forgive me.
I will say that as you guys were paying the Shade Assembly to house the Chimera, or that was Ayana's plan, you're familiar with the concept of the operatives that work at the Shade Assembly. They have these things called monikers, which is basically because they take on, a lot of them are like spies and things, so they take on all kinds of names and aliases and things. But the Shade Assembly has a moniker, like a one-word name for each person, so that regardless of what fake persona you're using, they know who you're talking about if you say it. But people who nobody's allowed to know your moniker except for the Shade Assembly until you die or retire.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're aware that would be significant, that she would tell him.
Shit! I didn't mean to say it. Speaking of which, you don't know. In talking with Ayana and Buraj, you don't know the first place that he saw the Chimera, do you?
You don't. You know that Buraj was the first to report sight of it. So, and then after he sort of called you guys to it, then you started tracking it across the continent.
I mean, no.
We would have to go ask him.
All right. Well, we should find out because there is something to that. I don't even know if I told you that we were running out of there so quickly, but one of the last things Kuzni said to me was that the knowledge that the Chimera had died with it.
What a jerk.
I know, and it might be bullshit, but I just can't help but thinking there's something about when it was poisoned, where it was poisoned. There's something...
You mean if we had talked with it, it would have been smart enough to converse with us to tell secrets?
Didn't seem like you wanted to talk.
No. There might be... I mean, you can speak with animals, and there might be people who have the power to speak with beasts, but whether there was one on the Shade Assembly or even on this continent, I don't know, but...
I would say as a magic user also, you would know that communicating with like monstrosities like that is extremely rare and often unreliable, but there are spells and things that can like look into its memories. Like if you touched a creature, a beast of some kind, that you could like see its thoughts and memories of some kind. So that exists, certainly.
They purposefully didn't really do any studying or prodding of it as part of the deal with Ayana. It was always said that it was going to be left untouched, so that I would be led there without hesitation, and after a while, Aswin.
Is that all you discovered in your 2-hour watch?
All the pertinent things, I suppose, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
No,
know.
it's okay.
I wish you could have gotten to speak with her as well, but I know that the more quiet we were, the better. Sorry.
Does she know what I am?
I think they know what happened, and again, it was Josco that had the faith in me and the faith in you to get it done this day, yesterday.
So Josco definitely knows.
Josco has a damn good idea. Oh, also he's on the run now. Because of what he did. That was, again, not part of the plan. So you and he are...
Cool. Maybe we'll be buddies.
Yeah, be outlaws together is what you'll be.
That sounds awesome. Okay, should we go? I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we
We
should
should probably get moving.
head south.
Okay.
The coast. Keep to the coast.
Okay.
The fog of the harbor takes up a sort of, sort of a spherical shape here down by the water. So it takes a second. You pack up all your things. You walk across some of the boardwalks to get back to the shore. And then there's probably another 20, 30 feet before you would sort of exit all of the fog. Everybody give me perception checks.
All right. Okay. That's not one.
Oh,
Here we go.
Too excited to get
I'm
moving.
so excited.
7.
13.
13 as well.
13.
Okay.
As soon as Graven and Sascha, who are sort of walking side by side, flanking Rumik, poke their head free from the fog, you get just the slightest shining glint out of the corner of your eye. And you turn very quickly, and you actually stop each other, and everyone, you're all kind of lingering here right on the edge of where the fog is. And you see this glint reflecting light, and it looks like it's coming from up on the hill in the general direction of the isthmus, because you guys were sort of pivoting left to head south down the coast. So this is up on your right. Strong enough that if you didn't already know its position in the sky, you might think it's the sun shining, like it's that bright. It's this like gleaming sort of little shining ball. Waiting for a moment, it also seems like that gleaming, shining figure is moving back and forth, a very measured back and forth, maybe 40 to 50 feet. As you get a better look, you sort of cover and get a look and shield your eyes from the illumination. You see a creature on 4 legs that looks at first like a horse that's clad in like plate armor. But in a strange twist of fate, it actually seems to have forgotten the actual horse part. It's just a rigid outer shell. And it has these kind of elegant, oversized horns that are curling out from the sides of its head. It looks like a construct, yes. It looks like a animated, inanimate object of some kind. So it looks sort of ram-like or horse-like, but like a suit of armor for a ram or a horse. And it's like slowly moving a few, 20, 30, 40 feet in one direction, and then it turns and walks the other way. It's kind of right up on the top of the hill up to your right there.
And it's ram or horse, large ram, small horse size.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And sorry, it's up on that ridge, and the light. Does it seem like it's its visage?
It doesn't seem like it's projecting light. It just seems
Okay.
like its metal, golden
the
coat
glint,
is
okay.
reflecting light so strongly that it's like hard to look at. It's gleaming that much. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's emanating light. It's just reflecting.
And we can't. It's hard to tell which way it's facing.
It has a head.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of moves back and forth, kind of up on the ridge. Yeah, it's probably 120 feet away from where you guys are right now.
And if we're coming out of the fog and the isthmus is like behind us on the right, it's kind of straight up, and the coast is to the left.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the isthmus? It's like a couple hundred feet away from like where that's where it's at, or is it like closer than that?
It's closer to the isthmus than that. I would say 50 to 100 feet.
Oh, okay, got it.
but it doesn't seem to be crossing the isthmus. It's just kind of patrolling the area loosely.
Sascha, you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of a range of sight it's got, but we should definitely skirt whatever that is.
Give me an Arcana check.
Natural one.
Natural one.
Oh my.
You've heard of.
Head hit a little too hard on the pipes.
You definitely have heard of, these animated constructs used as, sort of pets or servants or whatever, but you're unfamiliar with what this one's capabilities are, whether sight ranges, powers, spells, whatever. Like, you're unfamiliar with what it can do.
It could do anything.
It's the most powerful thing I've ever seen.
Do we feel like that it's watching for us?
Yes, that is what Jillian said was part of the patrol looking for us in the woods, but I don't know if it would immediately alert. I don't know if it would immediately attack. I don't know if it would explode and put up a signal.
Perhaps we just run and it can't catch us. If we just hurry.
We're at the edge of the fog.
Mm-hmm.
To where the next point we need to be is, like, how far is that?
Could be infinitely. I mean, you guys are planning on going south down the coast, so you could run for miles. Like, it's not. You would exit the fog very soon, so.
And then we would just be on an open beach.
Yeah, pretty much. Like sparse, sort of wooded, and then into rocky beach.
Well,
How far away is it?
Like 100 to 120 feet from where you guys are right now.
We don't.
I could.
Go on.
Do you think that's some sort of magical conjuration?
Yes, it's some kind of yes, an envoy, an emissary of a sentry of the Shade Assembly.
I could just get rid of it.
what?
That might immediately alert them.
Yeah.
Well, okay. If we don't want to, is there some way that we can distract it? Or I do know that we left 3 potions of water breathing here before going into the Shade Assembly. That just leaves one person maybe holding their breath. Maybe we swim for some time.
That's not a bad idea.
I could go out as an animal. They won't be looking for an animal.
That's a great
Just
idea.
sort of scout
So
out
cool.
what's going on.
And the 3 of us could use the water breathing potions.
Just follow us along the shore if we swim. Would
Can
that
you
be
turn into
okay?
something that can swim?
Yeah.
Nice. Then you could you'd be faster than
Graven's
us.
very used to when he says, "Can you do something?" Other people being like, "No." I can't." So his brother says yes. He's like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Yes. Where have you been this whole time? All right. Yes. I still have a water breathing. Do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
We could tie ropes to you and breathe underwater, and you could just pull us along.
That's
The potion.
Just thinking out.
Rumik, the potions last quite a while. I don't think we need to move that fast. They're like an hour,
Yeah,
right?
you would know.
We could swim for an
Great.
hour.
Well, yeah.
Aren't you worried about
I
the
mean, it sounds kind of
piranhas?
nice getting pulled along. Oh, I forgot about the
Say that again.
Quippers.
The quippers.
How close are they to the shore?
Quippers.
Well, you could definitely be faster than us, right? And you could scout ahead.
I could turn into a capybara. They swim real good, I hear.
I think if it's useful for you to both swim and make it on the beach, maybe.
If I turn into something that's somewhat amphibious, I can travel with you in the water. I can also scout on the land if need be.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
I think this is good.
And-
And during this time, we've seen it's just kind of done the same.
Yep, it's kind of like maybe 40 to 50 feet, just slowly back and forth.
And so that if
you
we-
can see its head kind of swinging back and forth.
So if we backed up into the fog, got in the water, and swam 150 feet, we might be, well,
you could go further than that.
yeah, I was going to say, we'd be definitely out of its range, right?
Yeah,
But-
you'd need to go a little bit, like it's not like a steep drop off of the water. Like it doesn't just suddenly deep. Like it gets steeper and deeper and deeper. So unless you go a little bit out into the water,
okay,
you're gonna be in shallow water.
Right, we'd have to go like 30 feet out, maybe.
50 feet maybe to get fully like under the water in a way that you can see.
What happens
This is a
to
good
my-
idea.
What happens to my spell book if it gets wet? Like,
Pockets brought you guys like waxed
That's
bags
right.
to put
Yeah.
stuff in.
Gosh,
I mean, that's how your stuff didn't get ruined when you went in the
oh,
first
that's
place.
right. Oh, pockets for the win. Okay.
Like sealed wax bags.
Oh. Mwah. What?
All right,
Yeah.
so-
you were about to compliment my plan.
Yes, it's a great plan. I
Thank
say that
you.
while this is still here, and we should get moving.
Okay.
All right, let's go back into the fog and get kind of to the edge of the water, or
You guys disappear back.
maybe.
When you go back onto the like docks and boardwalks and things, like it's reasonably deep there. Like you could easily just sort of sit on the dock and let yourself kind of go into the water there.
I think I'm gonna cast Mage Armor and Distort Mage Armor in case these stupid ass quippers come
Okay.
play.
Sure.
Ooh, and I'll kind of wield my shield rather than my totem right now, so that I have a little extra.
Good idea.
A little extra ass. AC. Get it?
Yes.
Is that how we pronounce that?
We've been doing that for 150
Oh, yeah.
episodes. You didn't know?
got 16 ass. If it meets or exceeds your ass, it
Yes. That's or exceeds the ass.
Oh no!
Okay.
reel it in.
Yep. All right. We have our bearings, even though it's very foggy. We could get a good idea.
Oh,
of
the
having, like, a
trajectory,
straight-
certainly, yeah.
Straight shot.
And as long as you can tell by the deepness of the water, like if it starts getting too shallow, you're like, oh, I'm too close to shore, and you can, then pivot and head further. Yeah.
You should have some sort of a maybe 3 taps on one of us, because you won't be able to speak to us, right?
No.
All right, 3 taps on us means hightail it to the shore. Maybe if there's something crazy in the water.
3 taps to get out.
2 taps is maybe safe to go to the shore.
Both of them mean go to the shore.
No, I know, but 2 is like take your time, and 3 is like
3 taps go to the shore. 2 taps go to the shore slower.
yes. I mean yes. Damn it.
This is making perfect sense to Rumik.
No, wait. Well, I was gonna say there should be a tap for going deeper.
One
So
tap.
1 tap.
One tap to go deeper.
We've got all the numbers.
No taps
Yes,
to go
okay.
slow deeper.
This is becoming a very complicated system.
It's just 3 taps, 3 different.
1 tap, go deeper.
1 tap, go a little deeper, in increments, of about 20 feet or so.
Increments of 20 feet or so. Okay. It's fine.
And obviously, no taps is keep on ahead.
Okay.
All right.
As long as we're together,
taps.
it'll be fine.
1 tap is go deeper.
Not deeper so much as farther away from the shore,
2 taps is come to shore.
safely. When you're ready,
At your leisure.
at your leisure. Yes.
At your leisure.
And
2 taps means it's safe to come ashore.
yes. And 3 taps is there's something crazy in the water. Get the fuck out.
Amazing. I'm ready.
How dexterous are capybaras? Are you going to be able to really be specific with? Okay.
They can tap.
Okay. Good. All right.
Cheers.
I think maybe we need a 4 tap system.
Oh God. What's the other one?
No, never mind.
Okay.
No, I want to
no.
figure it. What is it?
It's covered in one of the other taps.
Okay.
What was it going to be?
I don't know. Stay swimming, but we already covered that.
That's the no
Sorry,
taps.
my head is a little.
All right.
That's okay.
I'm already in capybara mode.
Do you want me to? I wouldn't be able to say anything to you.
Whoa. Talk it out.
Yep. What you got?
I want to go out into the fog and past the fog and see if there's anything there that's concerning other than this horse ram thing.
Well, the idea I think is that you're going to be faster than us, so you'll go up ahead and come back to us. Go ahead up ahead and come back.
Okay,
check
so
on
I'll
the
just
shore and
scout
come
the
back.
whole way.
Yes, please.
In and out of the water, whatever you choose.
Whatever capybaras do.
We await your taps.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully it'll be a 2 tap kind of day.
Yeah, hopefully.
So hopefully we don't have to use the 3 taps.
Yes. Hopefully we don't have to use any taps.
Well,
All right.
All right.
Thank you for
Cheers.
your liquids.
Of course.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take the potions of water breathing, and are you taking this moment to transform?
I certainly am.
Cool. Let's
Wild shape.
Some of the hair growing on your arms. You sort of move into a kind of hunched position, and then you get even kind of smaller, and all 4 of your limbs touch down on the wooden boardwalk there. Your nose kind of expanding in size out to a flat end there.
Oh God.
So cool.
This guy's funny. Right before I jump in the water, I go. I gave Jillian the spores.
You bastard! You did what I did!
Jump in the water.
Get back here!
My 3 swimming people give me athletics checks. And are you
okay.
poking your head? Are you going into the water first, or are you going to poke out of the fog on land?
I'm going to go walking like on the right where the waters meet.
Sure, right on the shore.
Just kind of
where the-
wading in the water.
Sure, great.
12.
17.
19.
Great. So as soon as you go underneath the water there, you can tell that the construction of this harbor must have been pretty good because the push and pull of the tides is pretty strong. Immediately you can kind of feel yourself just moving involuntarily a little bit back and forth. A couple times those posts that are holding up the boardwalks, you get kind of close to them, you push off, they're kind of covered in barnacles and seaweed there. You propel yourself forward.
How murky is the water? Like, if we're within 10, 15 feet of each other, can we see each other?
You can definitely,
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to like pinpoint details, but you can definitely see each other.
Okay.
You can see like someone kicking who's in front of you. You can see the back feet of someone. Yeah. So you can see kind of one at a time staying in the deeper portion, certainly deep enough that you look up and make sure that you're not so close to the surface that something could just see something, right below the surface of the water. But with the push and pull of the waves, you continue to work your way a little bit
I'll
further
kind of
to
be
the
out
south.
front as I
Sure.
ditched her after I told her that nugget.
Sascha, as you go out, you come out of the fog and you immediately start to just work your way along the shoreline. At one point, you sort of pivot to the left and make sure that you don't see any sort of suspicious ripples of your companions moving through the water. And then when you look back up to your right, that creature is looking right at you.
Oh my God.
And then like it sensed the motion of a creature of any kind and then determined that you were just an animal and kind of went back to its business. But yeah, literally the moment you emerged from the fog, it sort of focused itself on you for a second. Returns.
Wow.
Nice.
So you start to move along.
Stupid shade assembly idiot.
Fooled him with the mind spike, fooled him with the capybara.
Bunch of dongs.
These guys suck.
And you start to move down. How long would you like to attempt to swim for before you kind of come?
I mean, 5 minutes of swimming will get us
a few hundred feet down the shore.
a few hundred, so maybe 10, I'll keep going, for maybe 7 to 8 minutes.
Right. Give me a perception check as you run along the shore.
But do I see any in the distance that I can see along the shore? Do I see any other sentries or posts or anything?
12. You don't see any more of those gold sort of animal sentries further down the shore. As you look back and you're kind of looking around to see if you notice anything, one thing that does catch your eye is that you look across the sea to the north a little bit, and you can see the whole of Finlock Forest in the daylight. And while you wouldn't be surprised that it had kind of been swallowed up in the night, but the perimeter of trees remains mostly unchanged. There is, however, a low cloud of hovering smog that seems inseparable from the centermost part of the island. You'd expect clouds to kind of move over it, but it just stays there, sort of congealed over the center. Colors shimmering and dancing through it. It's like a gray prism almost. It occurs to you, as again, someone familiar with magic, that if the damage was extensive enough to disrupt some of the Shade Assembly's laboratories, places of experimentation, it looks like kind of an atmosphere of toxicity that might be uninhabitable for a period of time. The damage is that extensive that even hours later, it seems to still, it's almost like a nuclear fallout. Not quite that extreme, but it's lingering in the air, and you can see that.
Hey, they were using me. I don't give a shit. They knew what they were doing.
But you do not see any other sort of physical sentries or people of any kind along the beach here.
Then I'm gonna dip in and find them. And can I swim faster than they can?
Or about the same speed as it. Maybe a little bit faster than them, sure.
if I see him coming, I'll do like a. Do you tap me at all?
No.
Then I'll keep going.
I give the capybara equivalent of a thumbs up to the best that I can.
Okay. You raise one. And then
All right. I'll keep going.
uninterrupted, you guys move down the shore. You run into no quippers of any kind. You do recall, perhaps, the Pockets mentioned that
Deeper.
that they also were, yes, and more toward the island and in the ocean, not so much like along the shores. Yes. But you don't run into anything like that. It's calm.
Is there
Why?
like fishes though?
There is.
Nice, pretty nice.
Rumik.
Oh, that's very cool.
A couple of like. I'll maybe after another 5 minutes or so, I'll kind of stop.
Unimpeded,
And next time you're
15
coming back.
minutes you move through the water. It's getting a little tiresome. You're
Yeah.
getting worn out as you're swimming through the wake there.
I'll wait for the capybara to come back again.
I'm gonna go to the surface and just take a look at what's out there. See if
Open beaches as far as the eye can see.
they come. Do I know that if they come out of the water, can they still go back in while the spell lasts?
You would know that. It's not
Yeah.
a spell.
It's not like
quick-
if they come out of the
No,
water.
yeah, it lasts an hour, so they're able to breathe underwater.
Okay. Then two taps, everybody.
Feel the first one? Second one?
No third tap. You guys make, it gets a little shallower and a little shallower. Finally, your feet touch the sort of wet sand at the bottom, and you start to wade a little bit. And your head gets above the surface.
Give it a minute. Well, it's just my head, like.
Give me perception checks. Those of you who poked their head above.
Sure.
You're too short.
Including me.
Sure, yeah.
Shut up. Stop trying to make it canon.
Cursed myself.
Fuck.
9.
24.
8.
Nothing to see, and confident, you, as in your capybara form, you kind of ran briefly up to the sort of tree line there, peeked in, nothing, kind of came back, and as you look back, you watch as the Finlock Forest is sort of disappearing into the distance behind you.
I see their worried faces, and
Worried? No, a big sigh of relief.
well,
Never mind, you don't.
they seemed worried that they couldn't quite tell, but I give them 2 more reassuring taps.
I was worried.
Was that 4 taps?
No, 2 taps.
It's a 4-tap system.
It means bury your head in the sand. All right. And come back, come out, kind of.
Pick some of the seaweed off your arm and throw it back into the water.
Should get going down the beach. Keep moving south towards the Barrens.
Or we could do a little push.
You guys are back on land?
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Is she gonna give him to somebody?
I asked her if she would trust Grimari with them, or if they could learn anything from it.
And did she say she's going to give him to Grimari?
I'm not sure exactly what she's gonna do with it.
As far as your brothers know, like you started a conversation, dove into the water, and they're walking out and like having that conversation as if it like wasn't even interrupted. Don't go there. So if we go, that's what it looks like.
It's fine.
I figured it was better off that somebody else, honestly. I didn't want to carry the
No, I don't
cursed
think you
thing
can have
around.
that.
Yes, so. Talk to Grimari?
Everybody.
I know.
I can
Well-
talk to you guys though.
Yeah, we're fun to talk to. Did she say what she was
I'm
going
still
in
in
a
my
direction?
animal
Maybe,
I can't even
You
talk
can
to
choose to
Sascha.
revert, but you are.
maybe we'll cross paths. Did she say she was going south?
Again, she's headed to Navikapura eventually in the next week, so that is south, yes. Maybe you'll get to meet her.
But yes, we have a long ways. Anything you wish to know, I'm an
Yeah.
open book. Yeah.
Tell me about Graven when he was little.
Kissless. No kisses. He's always had to struggle with that. I was hoping to hear in these 40 years it changed, but
Why is that funny?
It's not. I'm not laughing. It's just. Well, it's funny. I'm kissless too.
I want to high five all that.
Yeah.
nice.
Ugh.
Honestly, he was. I don't remember too much. I was too young when he had left.
What is
But-
your difference in age? Can I ask?
I was 7 when you were gone, and you left
Gods.
when.
I was 14, I believe.
I see Rumik struggling to answer questions about Raven's youth, and I revert back to my human form.
About 20 years difference.
That's not quite
Rumik,
right.
I think I might know a little bit more about Graven's childhood.
Yes, please, Sascha.
He was always very good at athletics, very strong,
Aww.
but he struggled when it came to books and learning.
Okay.
Not the strongest reader. What are the questions?
We had Ayana. We had Ayana for that, I suppose. I assume.
So is Ayana gifted magically?
Not magically, no.
She's just smart.
Yes, very,
Super
very.
smart.
Very intelligent.
She knew enough, even when I was taken, that what was going on. She knew Kuuzni. She must have studied.
Religious texts, very always avid consumer of like legends and lore and things of that.
Yes. I mean, if Ayana said to go somewhere, we did. That's just how it is.
Yes, very well read. I would love to hear her theories about Demaset. Did you ever hear her speak of Demaset?
Demas.
No.
No. Is it a
What
place?
is that?
No, I had a theory about Demaset, who was more of a legend than anything. He became a cleric, basically, of all of 6 of the meddling gods. He made a deal with them. Again, legend. Some may call it a children's story, but the idea was the meddling gods would all empower him to rid a specific area of near Nolan's woods of dark forces and beasts and powers, and in return, he would help reinforce 2 places somewhere in maybe the continent, maybe the world, that would give the meddling gods a stronger, more potent connection to this world. And one of them stayed there in Nolan's woods, and the other was, again, lost to legend or hidden away forever. And I just had this idea that maybe the Chimera disturbed one of them, or got poisoned by making it there, or something like that.
Yeah, there's many sort of theories as to why the meddling gods are so powerful, why they have such a strong connection to this world, and that's one of them. That there was this cleric who sort of gave them these sacred places that helped them sort of get a foothold here in this world.
I see.
None of them confirmed, it's all sort of theory and myth.
So, whoever gets to speak to Ayana first, I want to ask her about that.
Sure. I hope there is lots of time to catch up.
Same.
But there was that strand of light, and you changed a scythe, and it was incredible.
Oh, thank you.
What is that?
Oh, it's special. I don't think there's many others that can. They're your brothers. I can tell them, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I barely know anything about it myself.
That's true. I wasn't able to tell him anything because anytime I tried to talk to him, his god would be all stupid.
Pretty
So
stupid god.
it's the worst. I'm a reaper, and from what I'm told, we're especially chosen by the undead to sort of make sure that the meddling gods or any gods don't get too powerful. That was my first time doing it, so you saw the
Congratulations.
Full marks.
Thank you. So,
Have a party. Oh, well, when we get.
but yeah, so that's me.
You also saw Rumik's eyes kind of widen as he mentioned the scythe. Like, Rumik was like, a weapon I've never seen before. Like, that
Big.
was sweet.
Yeah.
A connoisseur of violence.
Very cool. Okay, and you guys have been traveling for a while together.
Yes.
Yeah.
We first set out on a journey to help Jillian, who showed up last night. We were kind of conscripted by her to go into the Shaki Mountains, where there was a facility that had a lot to do with the myconid trade. And some details there that we may share as we travel here, but needless to say, she disrupted it because of how dangerous and how powerful they are beginning to become.
Yeah, so we exploded that place too, but not like
That's the one that you don't feel bad about.
Truly.
You feel worse about
I
it.
feel worse about way smaller explosions.
There are atrocities going on there.
Yeah, the continent's real messed up.
Yes. And, yes, and in our travels, we, I don't know if there was a connection, to the Chimera, but that was one of the next stops along the way and why we ended up in Finlock Forest.
And you guys have some familiarity with the Myconid trade. Like, you're aware of that. It's controversy that it can make for a brief period of time. People are as powerful as people who have trained for years. Like, it really accelerates sort of your mental and physical capacity. So there's a lot of controversy surrounding it, the use of it, how safe it is to use. But it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing on the continent.
Now, Jillian is retiring from the Shade Assembly, and I imagine that's going to be her #1 priority.
It should be. She'll do great.
Yes.
But we also learned dice games and how to punch each other, but not hurt each other too bad.
Oh.
It's fun.
She likes gambling.
I mean, dice games are always fun.
Oh, Rumik, I knew we would be best friends.
Are you good at gambling? Do you have a lot of money?
Do I have a lot of money?
I don't even remember.
Graven reaches down and pulls out the bag of diamonds.
Oh, Jesus.
It's got quite a bit of.
You got that gambling? I will gamble. It's amazing.
That's quite the take.
No, actually, these were for when I was able to revivify. But is that something you could do?
It is.
Ooh, maybe you should hold on to these then.
Sure.
And Graven hands you a bag of diamonds.
It's like 600, yeah. It was 600 gold worth of diamonds.
But Orba, you have no money, or
That is to say, we do have a decent
we
amount
have
of money.
money.
Yes, we have some.
He pivoted really hard. I think
Right,
he just wants
just-
to get rid of
no,
them.
Reminded
this will
me.
be. I hope we do never have to use it.
Yeah, truly,
Yeah.
yes, I was saving them.
I hope we never have to use these because I'm gonna gamble.
Hear me out. We could triple them.
We double it and then we double it again.
yes.
Okay, so perhaps when we rest tonight, we can play some dice games.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I'd love that.
Okay, great.
Is there anything else you wanted to know about Graven as a child?
I don't know what you got.
Yeah, what have you got?
Well, he almost had lost one of his eyes once.
What?
What?
Yeah, you probably don't. I don't know if Kuzni took this from you as well, but you ran headfirst into a ram, and it hit you with its horn right above your eye, very close to losing his eye.
Why were you trying to hit
I
by the ram,
don't
Graven?
know. I don't know. Maybe wrestling it or trying to prove something.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
Wow.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Just bonking your head against.
I was a child.
Okay.
The one thing I say, I do remember.
Closer to your age than mine now. Sorry.
It's, it's fine. Spending nights. It's more of a blur, but spending nights around Mother, and I remember my brothers, and sometimes Mother would tell stories, or she might draw a little bit, or anything. It's blurry, but
No, she was always very good at drawing pictures.
yeah. That's about all I really remember. But they're fond. I hold them close.
That's lovely.
Was she banished like the others?
Graven,
No, she was not.
she's, no, she went on her own time.
How long ago?
Years ago. Oh, like a long time.
A long time ago, Graven.
But it was an okay passing, and I like to imagine that she's with Father, and
And she thought of you every day.
It was those drawings. If I hadn't have seen those, my mind may have stayed broken forever.
You saw Mother's drawings?
When the Chimera went through the Wixa Mountains, you were there with Buraj. He tried to. You all saw me go into the wreckage and the explosion. Do you remember?
Yes.
But they weren't in it. They didn't know what you saw.
Yeah.
All they saw was the explosion.
I went down and I saw myself. Drawings of me as a boy. What I can only assume were estimates as to what I looked like now. And that's what it broke me. All of a sudden I found the journals. And that is how I was able to truly break the hold he had on my mind. The explosion was because I tried to cast him off.
I'm happy you saw those. Mother drew often.
Yeah, she would have loved that you saw them.
Do you have them with you?
I imagine that I destroyed them in a fireball
I see.
when I tried to destroy him.
Well, as long as they live in here, that's what's important.
Yes.
Sorry, Graven.
It's all right.
It was more of a celebration of her life that we held. It was not of course we miss Mother every day, but rest assured that it was an okay passing.
Did she know? Did Iona share with her what she knew at the time? Did she know that you were already looking for me?
She didn't know the details of Iona's master plan, but she definitely knew that some of her kids were looking. Yeah, she did.
Little I've learned of Iona is, I can only imagine that Mother had faith in her. Well-founded faith.
Don't we all?
In all of you. Yes, yes.
Well, hopefully in a few days or weeks we will find Iona and you can ask all your questions. She's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
She will probably have more stories of Graven. And it will be.
I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
More ram headbutting stories.
God.
Tell me.
You guys continue along the shoreline. And for something that was for so long the object of your desire, you couldn't be happier to be putting Finlock Forest and the peninsula sort of behind you. The wind is blowing at your backs in a way that it's almost like it's shooing you down the coast away from the mess that you've made there. It feels good to be on the move again, especially with the freedom of this kind of accelerated pace. During your approach to the isthmus, it seemed that every period of travel was so careful, so measured, because of you were worried about upsetting the creatures or the nature there, something that might come back to bite you in the ass while you were waiting for pockets to arrive eventually. And now moving away from the mysterious unknown rather than toward it, it's like the continent has opened up before you. And it isn't uncommon to see one of your companions occasionally break kind of into a light jog, letting the scenery wash over them, a welcome stimulation of the senses after a stretch of suffocating dread. As you appreciate the little things on your trek, the freshness of the air, the warmness of the sun, a few hours go by, in the blink of an eye, takes you into the later afternoon. It's possible if you keep up this current rate of progress, you might reach the outskirts of Verne right after the sun has set. And it's at that moment, with thoughts of a fresh bed and a well-cooked meal kind of on your mind, that your attention is drawn to something a little further down the coast. It looks like a pair of small ships have been pulled up onto the shore, all the way to where they're pretty much beached, like they look like they're stuck on the shore. They're not sort of floating in shallow water. And both of them appear to have sustained some degree of damage, possibly attacked or caught in some dangerous waters and had to quickly make for the shore. The mast of one is sort of splintered and askew, and the other has a good chunk of the bowsprit hanging loose from the front, almost like it sort of crashed headfirst into a solid object. There's at least 5 or so people that seem to be tossing crates and objects from the decks, sort of like people over the edge, they sort of drop it down and then people catch them, and then other people are loading them into horse-drawn carts that are just a few feet away, so they're like taking things off of the ship. The ships have flags, but they're kind of torn. They're a little difficult to make out at a distance if there's sort of colors or a symbol of some kind that's on them. But they do seem to have maybe a color pattern. If you could get a better look at it, that might be able to identify them.
How much urgency are they?
Give me a perception check.
5.
5. As far as you can tell, I mean, you feel like you would be able to tell if they were like absolutely like if they were tossing shit as fast as they could. It seems fairly measured. Doesn't seem like they're in a massive hurry by any stretch.
Okay.
Well, maybe we get a better look at what their colors are and see if they could be friend or foe to us.
Sure. If they're a friend, we can certainly help them move their crates, perhaps.
Trade something.
Sure.
Maybe.
People don't usually like us. I think that's why he's not very optimistic.
Because your options here are kind of, you can move along the beach as you are, along the shore. If you kind of go inland, if you were going to try to like avoid them entirely, you'd be heading into the woods a little bit, which, you know, you are a decent distance from the isthmus at this point, but Jillian gave words of warning that, you know, the woods are being looked through by some of those sentinels.
About how many people would you?
Like a dozen, maybe less, 10 to 12
Jesus,
people.
that's a lot of people. It's too many to kill, I guess. Damn it.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Got my spyglass, so
Yes.
I'll
Good.
try to make it that as far away from them as I can.
All right.
So
I guess. Or should we just
can-
approach? Like we're just
I follow your lead.
walking on the shore?
Let's keep going.
Are you taking a look through the spike?
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a perception check with advantage. It's pretty clear.
Levanto. Jordan.
That's a double motherfucking 4. Perception 5.
From this distance, just the way the flags are kind of wrapped around the mast, it's difficult to make out sort of anything of that kind.
And then the men aren't in like a specific attire. Are they in matching attire?
Not matching, and like seafaring attire, general seafaring attire.
And it's dark now. The sun is setting.
Oh
or is
no,
it
you
dark?
know, it's very much daytime still.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's like
alright.
it's like the early or late afternoon, like
I
3,
see.
4, 3 o'clock maybe. Yeah, so plenty of daylight left.
And we're not far from, as you said, not far from Verne.
Another few hours, like
Few hours.
maybe 4 more hours to Verne. Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Yes, I suppose we could offer help if they're headed to Verne. I don't imagine that they're headed north. Or, because they might be if they crashed here.
Could use my
Yes.
wheel on your spyglass roll.
No.
Next time.
Yeah. Look again. Yeah. All right.
So approach.
Yes. Would you like to do the talking? Rather than one of the 3 Goliaths?
Am I a representative? What do you mean?
I don't know. We can be,
You seem friendly enough.
yeah.
Yes.
We can be intimidating sometimes.
Well, I'm like super big and strong too, so. Okay,
We'll see.
I'll go.
You guys are moving down the shore a little bit more. Because you were sort of unable to discern, when you looked through the spyglass, it didn't seem like anyone was looking in your direction like they had seen your approach. But you get to a point where a couple times you see people turn their heads. They can clearly see that someone's like walking down the beach in their direction. Give me perception checks, both of you.
Oh my god.
7.
11.
11? Okay. As you guys move further and further down, it does take you getting certainly close enough that you can see some of them are a little on guard. They're not sure who might be approaching. You see some people kind of tapping each other, pointing in your guys' direction. No one sort of like draws weapons, but people, you know, you can tell you're not in a major civilization yet, so you're kind of out in the wilderness. You can see they're a little on edge. And you see some of the colors on the flag finally. And it's kind of a green and white, like a white and green striped flag. It seems to be tattered in a little bit. And there's a symbol on the flag. At one point, a gust of wind comes through that loosens the flag from the mast a little. And you're able to see that it has a symbol of a cracked egg on it. It's like an egg with a crack on it. And Sascha and Rumik immediately recognize this flag. Sascha first, who then taps Rumik and points. This is the flag of the Hatchlings, is what they call themselves. They're smugglers and merchants. And they're known for having a very strict sort of no asking, no telling policy on the contents of their cargo. You can hire them to take something somewhere, and they won't ask you what it is, they won't look inside the crates, and they ask for expensive, but for their services rate, it's just sort of a flat rate for whatever goods they might be moving. They're often in business with. They do both legit and non-legit jobs. They're happy to take regular work too, so it's not like everything they're doing is nefarious in some way. And the reason you guys know them very well is you actually hired the Hatchlings to offload a bunch of Goliath artifacts at one point to pay for the Chimera to remain in Finlock Forest.
Stop.
You gathered sort of a number of things that were still valuable possessions of the il-Vigos and the il-Cravos. And you paid them they have a very specific relationship with some of the elves up north. They're called Citravada elves. And they would take these goods up there and sell them at a very high markup because the elves are kind of in a spot that's hard to reach. So they would pay premium prices for goods. So what the Hatchlings basically told you guys is, we'll take your goods, and instead of selling them in like a major city where you might get an okay price, we'll go take them to the elves and we'll make you guys a fortune. We'll get you a ton of money, which you guys desperately needed at the time to make sure the Chimera stayed. After you hired them, they returned from their voyage and they claimed that the ship had been attacked and that the artifacts were lost, that they sunk into the sea.
That is fucking bullshit.
Oh no!
Sorry.
So they kind of stiffed you of both the goods and the money. And at the time, you suspected there might be foul play, but you didn't have the influence, you didn't have the time, and you didn't have the strength of people. You didn't have enough people, the muscle, to sort of make a meaningful stand against the Hatchling.
You said there's like 12 of them. Damn it.
So that is what you remember. You're unable to pick out any faces from here, so you don't know if one of these people is like the person you dealt with when you were making this exchange. But you recognize the flag. The Hatchling isn't a huge. It's not like a major organization. There's probably like 50 to 100 of them total, maybe 50 to 75 of them. So you're not sure if these are the exact ones you dealt with, but it's definitely that organization.
Fuck.
Sascha.
Yeah.
You know who those are, right?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we should talk. Give a stern talk.
What?
We can do that.
Perhaps.
Why do you know
What's
these
happening?
people?
Long story short, I hate them.
And that's where we're going to take a break. Long story short, I hate them. We're going to take a little break. And we'll come back and see what Sascha, they're like. They're literally going like this. And they're like, don't worry about it. So while we figure out what might be
Rumik's like, ready, go.
Yeah.
1, 2.
You know who they are, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how we deal with the hatchlings when we get back.
On 3. 1, 2. Like, what?
Like holding your hands. Like.
Oh, come on.
Enjoy the break. We have games as always, fun and games, trivia, and we will return and see if the hatchlings get the business end.
Hatched.
Oh, boy.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the other side
See
of the
you
break.
soon.
If you want to support the show and win into Comeuppance, you can always like, comment, and subscribe. You heard it? Now enjoy this puzzle. I'm Joe Screw.
Welcome back, everybody. Some intense planning was happening during the break.
Was
sort
there?
of.
Super intense.
or some
mean-
wild theories being thrown out.
But we got our answer from Twitch chat.
Yes, we had the poll as well. They're illuminating the poll.
Yeah.
Was there only 2 options?
No, there
Sorry,
were-
what,
Oh, there were
what was
several.
what's the answers of the poll?
Yeah, what were the options?
What's the outcome?
Yes,
It
become
was-
murder hobos.
Yes, become murder hood.
No, don't let them change you.
Yeah. Yes, if it makes Orba tall. And no, Graven needs a kiss.
Which decidedly won.
I mean, all right.
Ah.
They are not mutually exclusive. Wait. Murder the man, good kisses.
No. All right. Should I just thank some?
Yes,
some
please
folks?
thank the people so we can dive back in here.
Okay.
What we think about.
The Tattooed Muscle will resubscribe. Due date resubscribe. Yes, I'll take my time. Oh, I already did these, but Mr. Richard Clock, happy birthday, resubscribe. Words of a Mute, resubscribe. Half Baked gave out a sub. Crow Valentine, resubscribed. Ali Slayer, resubscribed. Ali Slayer did 100 bits, and then Wiz Ren gave out a community sub.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Woo.
Thank you.
So much.
Very exciting.
I'm at music already. Nothing.
This isn't combat. This is thinking music.
Yeah.
It's scheming music.
happening?
It's not on my combat playlist. All right, we're diving back in. You guys are, again, still a couple hundred feet away. You guys, in fact, a few hundred feet away. You were able to see them from a great distance with the clarity of the sky and the open beaches here. Your presence has definitely been noted by them. Again, like they are to you, you're probably not close enough that someone might see you and be like, oh shit, that's Rumik and Sascha.
But they probably see that they're Goliaths.
Yes,
which,
they
yeah,
or
Goliaths.
big humans. I mean, you look like tall humanoids. So you guys are along the beach, inching a little closer, and Rumik has just delivered the
Oh yeah.
the
I hate that.
short, long story.
They took things from the il-Vigos, from the il-Cravos, to get us money to help you, and then basically said, "Screw you! I'm not giving you money or anything." I don't understand it, but
What?
They stole from our family?
they stole from our family.
You
Now-
know this for sure.
Well,
Guys!
this is
It seems an important detail.
this is what we were told.
You were told that they stole from you.
We had given them some Goliath artifacts to sell. They promised to sell them. And when they came back to us, they said, we actually lost them. No items were sold, and we have no money for you. Now, this is what they told us. It may or may not be true.
What do you think, Sasha? Do you think it's true?
I mean, I don't really like them to begin with.
What is the play here? There are a lot of them.
I could soften them up before we approach.
Maybe
You don't even want to exchange words with them.
We should do that too, but if it sounds like you want to fight them,
I didn't say anything.
Why do you want to
This
fight
is an
them so
alarming.
bad?
This is an alarming piece of news, but I also know that fighting 12 people at once is a feat.
It'd be light work for your totem, I would say. Get a little dust off of it.
Well, I guess what's your goal? Do you want information about where the artifacts could be? Or
they have our stuff. We'd like it back.
Or repayment for the stuff. Or just to know the truth and get the stuff. I want the stuff at all costs. That's what I want.
Do you think that there's any way that they would be truthful and give it up in exchange for more money? I don't
we do
care
have-
about those
We
diamonds.
have the diamonds.
Rumik.
The diamonds.
Orba won them gambling. This is important.
We kind of found them along the way. They're not important.
Why
so
don't
just-
we go speak to them?
All right.
And we'll always have the diamonds as a bargaining chip.
Yes.
Yeah, are they like scared of certain things? I could like make an illusion and make them super scared of something.
As a faction, are they scared of things?
Yeah, like collectively.
I don't
if
think they know them
encounter-
individually.
Sailors often are superstitious in one way or another, but
I would hope
When you're
they're-
inducted into the Hatchlings,
Yeah.
you have to agree to be afraid of one particular thing.
No others.
I would say in a few moments they will be afraid of Goliaths, to say the least.
Was it one of you two that had the dealings with them? Would that either of them recognize you?
You can't tell if like those are the exact people, but both of you definitely spoke with Hatchlings personally.
It's possible one of the ones we spoke to might be there.
We could
We talk.
Go on.
We go and speak to them.
See if they'll give up any truth about where the artifacts are.
Of course. And if they turn out to be shitty, we'll crack some eggs.
What are we doing? I was reading.
Be ready to fuck them up.
Do you want to do the talking?
Sure.
Okay.
How? Just before we encounter this.
Sure.
How far are we from like the tree line from the shore here?
Let me give you an estimate. So there's like off to your right, maybe just like 30 feet, is some sparse trees, and that extends for probably like 100 feet here, like 200 feet, and then it gets much more dense. So it's like beach, a little bit of rocks, spotted woodland, and then it gets denser and denser the further inland you go. Another couple hundred.
Okay.
But the forestation starts pretty quickly. Like there's definitely trees and things.
Okay.
Can we see at this point how armored or weaponed or true numbers of how many
Are you
there
getting closer? Like, are you on the move?
Yeah.
If she
Walk with
got the
purpose.
spyglass, maybe trade spyglass and I'll take
Give me a
it.
perception check with advantage.
That is cocked.
Yeah, that's fair.
To a 20.
And 2.
Okay, 16
16.
with advantage.
Unless there's ones like below deck on the ships, it looks like there's about 13 of them. If you were to give a quick count.
Okay.
And in terms of armored, like they're mostly in merchant, like sailors' attire. Some like, heavy cloth, maybe some leather armor. You don't see any like metal plate. Like they don't look like true mercenaries, like corsairs of the sea. But most of them look to have a weapon of some kind. Some sabers on their hip. Some of them have swords on their backs. Bows. Some of them have bows and arrows, crossbows. Like each one presumably has some weapon of some kind. Basically.
Shunk. All right. They've all got some sort of weapon. Some of them have armor. There's about 13 of them. Try to talk to them. If things go south, I'll try to pick out whoever looks like maybe a leader or the strongest of them to make an example of, and we can see if we can spook the other ones into submission.
Okay.
As we approach,
Yeah.
do I see? Well, how far away are we?
You were still a few hundred feet away.
Okay.
200, 250 feet away. Closing, like slowly working their way down the beach. They're definitely aware of your presence. Someone on the closer of the two boats is kind of leaning over the edge, kind of just trying to get a better look at you guys in the distance.
Oh God, how big are the boats? I mean, they're
There's
Two boats.
Two boats.
Yep. And they look like they're damaged. They look
Yeah.
like they're some kind of either a combat or bad weather or something. They hit a rock or something. They're both damaged. And they're big enough to have a small crew, but I'll use an easy comparison. When you guys were in Vikapura, there was the tall ports and the short ports. Like the tall ports had the big boats that go across the ocean. These don't look like they go to the other continents. They look like they might go between the ports of Antisuyu, like up and down the coasts. Small ships that carry goods, to the other cities that are on the coasts.
Maybe we should try to suss out what happened first to see if they are hurting in any way, and before maybe anybody recognizes or bringing up our beef, yes, just inquiring what happened and what happened. What do they have?
Not trying to sway everybody
They're
out.
probably not going to tell us what they have. They're pretty secretive about
Right,
that. That's
right.
kind of their whole thing.
Right.
I was about to say, not trying to sway anybody in any particular direction, but if we do mess them up and this delivery doesn't get to where it needs to be, we're possibly pissing off whoever is
Yes, some other family
receiving
might
or
be
sending.
just as put out as we were.
Maybe we can get information from them of who those people are and then find a deal with them. We can become the new middlemen.
Maybe. I mean, there might be one piece from each corner of the continent here. They Might not all be from the same source.
Gotta start somewhere. May as well talk to him.
As you guys are getting closer and closer, both of you give me perception checks.
Okay. 18.
18.
13.
13. Okay. You guys are getting closer piece by piece. Eventually, that person who's kind of leaning over looking, it looks like you can't hear it, but he shouts something to someone down on the beach. And someone takes a spyglass of their own out, one of the people who's on the ground, kind of gives a look in your direction.
I see this happening.
You see this happening?
So when I see the spyglass come out, I intentionally puff out the chest a little bit. Walking with purpose.
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
A little more swagger.
Oh, perfect.
If I see him do that, I'll kind of straighten up too. And
Yeah, I'll do it too.
That's gonna be 17.
17. Okay, great. He looks through, and you watch him put the spyglass down, and it's difficult to discern all the detail from a distance, but one, he looks a little surprised, and two, he looks a little familiar.
oh no.
You see, as he brings the spyglass down, you're kind of tracing the motion of the spyglass, and as he brings it down past his mouth, and there's a chunk of his lip missing, like from the center of the lip off to the side, so some of his teeth are visible, like even when his mouth is closed, some of his teeth are visible. And this is indeed one of, maybe not the primary person that you dealt with, but his name is Caddy, C-A-D-D-Y, Caddy Bradshaw. And this was one of the people who was conscripted on that artifact mission. And then when he brings the spyglass down, and you can see you see him give like a gross smile, like you recognize as you see him sort of.
Oh.
And he can see you. You're still a little ways off, but you are able to tell that there's some bit of recognition on his face there.
Okay. Okay.
But he wasn't like the captain.
He was not the captain. Yeah, he was not. He was definitely part of the crew that was meant to.
My boy.
So you still have a little bit of time here where you haven't gotten all the way up. They don't seem to be like drawing weapons or anything. They're not like
Right.
Graven, Orba. Mm-hmm. One of them I recognize. We had dealings with them, with the il-Vigos.
All right.
He's missing half of his lip. He's hard to miss.
All right. What's
You'll
his name?
know him when you see him.
Caddy.
Caddy. All right.
Do we still want to talk, or do we just run and fight?
Maybe give them a
stupid lip face.
It does. I imagine that he would recognize you if you recognize him. Yes.
Probably.
And it doesn't look like they're preparing for battle. Maybe just hear them out first.
In fact, after he sort of put it down, you saw him kind of a look of recognition. It seemed like he's kind of talking to one of the other people there on the beach. There.
All right. I follow your lead then.
Okay.
Can I just put some distance between us, just in case they like
slowing
do
down.
some
So you're
volley?
all-
Yeah.
Sure. How far behind them would you like to be?
Can I do like 20 feet
Oh my god.
back to the right?
Okay.
So far.
Like toward the forested line, the trees.
Yeah, toward. Yeah.
Great. You guys get a little bit closer. Finally, you're getting to the point where even with the kind of crashing of the waves, you can hear, like a lot of them are just shouting, goods coming down, like dropping, and then got it, like just back and forth with them. And the guy with the spyglass and the bit of his lip missing, he starts to walk in your direction. He's got the spyglass in his hand, he puts it on his hip there. As he's moving kind of down the beach in your direction, he holds his hands out, and he does like a little spin on the beach, and he comes up to you. Would you look at that now? Nice to be in the presence of il-Vigos once more. What brings you to this lonely stretch of beach?
I can't look at him, Sascha.
Rumik,
It's got a problem, that one.
be polite.
Hello.
He doesn't like the look of your lip, to be quite honest.
You see that kind of put him off a little bit. You can see a little bit of offense kind of washing over them.
Trouble with your ship, huh?
Last time we spoke, I was just a crew member. Now I got myself a ship. You ought to address a captain with respect.
We were just up in the north, searching for some bounties, making our way back south. Looks like you've had some trouble.
A bit of boat trouble, yeah. Last night there was some manner of lightning unlike anything else coming in from the north. Great big bolt came down from the sky, made a shockwave that shot the very shit loose from my arse.
The captain should probably know of these things to not harm his crewmates.
Yeah, well, it sort of happened all of a sudden, right? Came out from nowhere. Normally I can see a storm coming from a ways away. Bit later, the waves started barreling through. Too much for these shallow vessels. Took a beating and had to come to shore. So we're carting the goods off to Verne. Hopefully we can offload some goods and make some repairs.
Where were you headed before the crash?
Oh, can't tell you that, can I? Were you able to afford what you were trying to get back when we spoke?
Funny you should bring that up, Caddy. We never received any of the money from the hatchlings.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry bit of business.
Do you mind telling us what happened?
Well, it's just the risks you take, innit? You know, we lost more than our fair share of cargo over the years. It's at the
Lost?
bottom of the
How?
sea. Oh, we took on too much, started riding low in the water, waves came in strong, and we had to toss some of it to keep ourselves up. Some of your artifacts were the first to toss some of those marble busts and other heavy items.
So if I were to take a trip, let's say, go and visit the elves, I wouldn't see any of that stuff there?
No.
Sure about that?
Make an insight check.
Oh.
9.
He says it with great confidence and aplomb that sort of... You can't tell if... I mean, what he's saying is not untrue. Merchant vessels get wrecked sometimes. It happens. But this... You also know that the hatchlings have a very good relationship with the elves that they sell to, and they use that route a lot. So to be kind of attacked or have the ship crash on that route, that's what sort of set you off in the first place, that seemed a little unusual. So it rings about as hollow as it did the last time, which is to say you're not picking up on anything specific, but, you know, he doesn't seem like he's giving you everything, and yet it's possible that what he's saying is true.
Some of those things were heirlooms.
Yeah, well,
Very, very important to us.
we've taken things up to the elves that are awfully...
So important that I wouldn't even mind trying to go and search the seafloor for it.
How long
Where
can you
might
hold
I-
your breath?
Where might I look for them?
It's right up near the waning woods off the coast. If you see Citravata elves, you've gone a bit too far.
Seems you had the insight to come ashore when things were bad this time. Why didn't you do that last time?
Well, ships didn't take as much damage this time, did they? Able to make it here. Last time we had nothing to swim to shore but planks of wood.
Did you take any personal losses?
When we crashed the last time.
Personnel, I mean. Any...
Yeah, a cook drowned.
What was his name?
Bilbo.
Oh my god, does that sound even close to true?
Make it
Bilbo the cook. Insight? 14.
14. It came back like too fast.
Yup.
like you had
Yup.
something in the chamber. And give me a perception check as well with
What?
21.
21. As he says that, his eyes kind of flick towards the nearest ship that he's standing kind of in the vicinity of. And it seems like a slight look of just, not worry, but just trying to be aware of his surroundings. And someone up on the deck that was standing up near the railing, like, disappears, and you catch sight, and it's someone who had, like, an apron, and he's, like, wiping his hands on his
Yup.
apron.
Okay, because
and
they're
he
close enough to
disappears.
hear. We're
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely there. Someone on the ship could definitely hear you where you are.
Well, perhaps we can make a trade with them. What they have now.
I'm afraid that sounds like bullshit. And I think that if I go on that vessel right now, not only will I find Bilbo, but I'll find a bunch of other things that you plan on stealing.
That's a bit of an accusation. Plus, if you set foot on that ship, you'll get riddled full of arrows, so you won't find nothing at all.
And you can see behind him now.
Yeah.
He hasn't motioned to anyone.
Yep.
But people who are carrying stuff have started just kind of sensing the tension a little bit. Like people are putting crates down by their feet. And no one like drawing a bow or anything, but just slowly kind of turning their attention in this direction.
How far away are the ships?
I mean,
how close are we to?
Yeah. The closest ship is probably 60 feet away from you. Like the nearest part of the hull to the closest ship is about 60 feet away.
We're a bit busy, so if there's nothing else you need...
Yeah, do you need a hand with some of your goods? I could take them off of you.
That's very kind, but I'm sure you know our policy, and I couldn't risk letting you see what the goods are.
Oh, please, just one. I can help with one.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
It's a nat one.
Oh my god.
I think you boys know our policies very well, and while I'd be happy for the strong hands, it's just not in the cards.
So there's definitely no il-Vigos artifacts on any of these boats.
Certainly not.
Well, Graven, that's a shame. I don't know what we're gonna do with all these diamonds now. We were prepared to trade all these diamonds for those goods, but if they're not there, then, well, we may just have to cut our losses, Graven.
Well, they're not, but what else might you be interested in?
Nothing.
All right, then. On your way.
I'm watching Sascha. Kind of is the last person to have talked to him here.
May I have a moment with my...
Yeah, take a moment as you walk on down the beach.
If we, all right. If we're still kind of by the seaside here, and the boats and the people are kind of right in front of us, if we took and you said between, how far from the boats now? If you came
You're
to
like
meet
about
us?
50 to 60 feet from the closest boat.
Okay, so if we took like a
Turn your monitor
ambling,
off.
okay, an ambling path to stay 50 or 60 feet away.
I want to fight him so bad. I am so bad.
So you guys came down the beach here,
Lesson.
and as you're moving down the beach, so I haven't put you in place yet, but you had this conversation with Caddy about right here, which would place you about 50, 60 feet from the closest ship. And then there's a bunch of people most of the people are concentrated near the second ship, the further ship. There's a bunch of people there, and then there's the carts a little bit further than that. And then you can see here, like it's sparse wooded area here, and then it gets thicker and thicker the further you go further inland. So you guys are about right here, roughly speaking.
Yep.
What kind of vibes are you guys throwing down to Orba right now?
I
gotta.
We're all kind of like,
I think all three of us are like fist,
fist. I'm like
little
the
tense.
moment
thing.
if Sascha said it, fist would be on his face.
Okay. Okay. As Orba is walking past this gentleman with.
Are you
friends.
walking?
I mean,
Oh yeah, sorry. Are you?
if you said you wanted to speak to me, and he, he's dismissing
He
us.
was saying, speak while you move.
Yeah.
Like, keep moving.
Very slow, ambly northeast
Like, yeah, that's
to
As
give
if we're
a
making
little
our
bit of a
way.
berth. Yeah,
Sure,
but
yeah, like around
but
this
like
way.
pretty slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
As
Yeah.
they're all
Yep.
passing, can I go up to them and not quietly, like in front of Caddy, just put a hand on Graven's shoulder and let's just keep tracking the Chimera, okay?
Okay.
Hey,
So
Bounty hunters. I'd keep an eye out if I were you. There's a Chimera in the area.
Make a deception check.
No, I don't want to. Why are you looking at me?
God.
12.
12. Okay. You don't pick up on too much, but he hears that and he sort of, you get the sense that after what happened to these ships, he's already, behind on schedule. Some stuff might have gotten lost. You can see that the mention of a dangerous creature about is sort of a little worrisome. He sort of nods his head a little bit. You can see him thinking a little bit.
Okay. And then are we passing him?
We're walking a little bit away,
Walking
and I'll
slowly away.
very
Okay.
under my breath to Sascha.
So you're like between the boats now.
Yeah.
And you haven't gotten to the main concentration of.
How loyal do you think these are all to that captain? Do you think that if we took him and threatened his life only, that they would yield?
I get the sense that they probably don't like him very much.
Okay, look, I can make something super scary so that they all run away, but it sounds like you guys just want to kill these people.
I think he's full of absolute shit.
Of course
Well,
he
sure,
is.
yeah, but what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna strike the bastard with lightning. What do you think?
Also, we're fucking these people up.
Do we want to try to keep them alive so they can be scared of us? Or are we killing them?
There is a lot of people here.
Even at an ambling pace, you guys are now getting to this area where you're passing by the people who are moving crates, basically. So you're getting closer to the horse-drawn carriage.
I can run and jump and grapple him and have him as a hostage right now. If you say the word, I will go.
Oh my god, you guys! This is ridiculous!
Say so.
Was that Graven or was that?
Graven, if you think they have our stuff, we could try to.
How long ago was that? There is a damn good chance that they do not have our things.
I just think we should get their stuff for what they didn't give us.
Don't look at me.
We already discussed that, Rumik. That's somebody else's stuff, and then we're just perpetuating the cycle.
Exactly.
Unless you guys are stopping, you're now up to the horse-drawn carriages. There's a couple people loading
I'm
stuff in there.
sorry, brothers. I just don't know if it's worth the fight.
Oh no, Rumik.
Give me perception checks, everybody.
You guys are
Honoring it.
so
Aw,
smart.
Okay,
son of a
13.
bitch.
5.
16.
10.
As you guys are passing by that larger group, and you give kind of a look back to Caddy, it seems like he had gone, after the conversation with you, he had gone over to another person, maybe the same one he was talking to earlier, and you watch him just kind of like,
Okay.
No!
I'm
Sascha, I'm
no
going.
words.
Oh no.
No words.
All right.
here.
All right. How much of a grouping is there? Where are these men?
Okay, so a couple things to move around. So you guys are now you just passed by the carriage.
Yup.
There's probably a couple people loading stuff into the carriage itself.
Yup.
There's definitely a couple people waiting to get stuff thrown down to them. There's a number of people on the deck of the ship. So there's 2 there, 2 there. There's 4 on the ship there. And then, which one? This is Caddy, and he's actually over here.
He's far enough.
Because he was talking to you. So Caddy and another sailor were talking here. There was a second one here. So yeah, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. I think that, yeah. So 11 that you can see there might be, you watch someone disappear below the deck of this ship. So maybe like a dozen. And you guys are now here.
Okay. Sorry, I only see 2 by the horses, 2, 2, and 2, but there's a bunch on the
There's
boats.
4 on the boat there, on the deck
Jesus,
of the boat
okay.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys are right here looking back.
Would they even know where the lightning came from if you brought it down on that boat right now?
Well, I kind of want to strike him. You want me to bring it down on the boat? Maybe burn our stuff on there? Though they're mostly stone artifacts, they'd probably be okay.
Rumik. You and me back to the captain. You do the boat.
Yes, okay. Okay.
Which boat? Keep cover. The boat with the most people you can see.
Which one was that?
I mean, now it's the closer boat.
The closer boat. Okay.
That
Wait,
has-
I'm gonna-
wait.
yeah.
We're gonna walk back.
I'll stay right here.
Pretend that it's words, and you'll know.
Try not to destroy anything good if we can sell it later.
There's other things on the with the horses.
Okay.
Do you want me to hurt any of the people or just the boat?
Yeah, get the people. They don't want them attacking us. We want to scare them.
Okay.
I'm walking. I'm
yeah,
like
you
as
guys
though I
all-
thought of something.
Okay,
I'm
you
gonna
sort of do a heel turn, you
Yeah.
spin around. As soon Caddy seems to have been watching you go the whole way.
Yep.
As soon as you turn to sort of turn around, you can see him straighten up
Yeah.
and start to walk in your direction.
Okay.
He's moving. He's probably
And Rumik's here with me.
Yeah, you guys are right, kind of where those horses are, maybe a little bit for right here-ish.
Are we
Okay.
trying to
Follow my lead.
Okay.
I'm gonna, like, walk up to...
Forget something!
Yes, I just had one other question. Who is your... And I'm, like, reaching back, and I'm gonna grab the totem. Second in command. Bam! And I'm gonna try to, like...
Give me initiative rolls.
Yes.
So he had not gotten close enough to hit him, but some
Okay.
of those people loading goods, you definitely could have whacked one of them.
Okay.
19.
All right.
Oh, and you, I think you get advantage. No, sorry, that's just me. I'm so sorry.
Damn you.
Oh my god. All right.
Oh my god, what are we doing?
Goliath. God damn it, the il-Vigos.
He had such a nasty, hittable face.
He did.
Poor guy.
Out of curiosity,
Really
when we met him the
steady
first
there.
time, did he have that lip thing too?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
he did
Yeah.
already have that. Yeah.
All right, 20 to 25.
No.
Was right behind Graven there. Sasha was just behind them.
15 to 19.
And
19.
Orba was just
19.
Are you in Reaper form or no?
Reaper.
Reaper form.
Do I get a surprise round because I...
I'm gonna give you advantage on the attack, but not a surprise round.
Okay.
Because they were very aware of your presence.
Yeah.
It's not really like a surprise round.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
You go first.
Okay.
How does it work with... I mean, I didn't say I'm raging yet. I haven't done this before.
Aww.
Is
It's a bonus
raging
action.
something I can do before I attack?
Yeah, because again, I'm saying you have advantage on the attack, so if you'd like to rage before you do that, you can still do that.
I guess it would be better to wait because if I'm already going to get an advantage, I'm not
Rage
gonna...
doesn't give you advantage.
If I reckless.
If you
reckless
wreck,
is
that's different than raging. But
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I'm still learning what this
That's all right.
shit does.
All right, I'm gonna divide.
You do get +2 damage if you got a rage.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Let's see here. I think I'm just gonna divide it right now into Caddy and the Sailor.
Okay.
Okay, Caddy is 14.
Okay.
And the Sailors are 9.
Okay.
11 for me.
Okay. And Orba had a 2.
Ooh.
So Caddy did come down the beach a ways to kind of meet you, but he didn't get all the way up to you. So he's kind of just up to the boat there. So he's not too far away, but.
You guys have initiative. So it's Sascha and Rumik, Caddy, Graven, Sailors, Orba.
Okay.
Amazing.
So you see Graven reach for the totem and start to swing it around, and immediately Sasha's like getting out the druidic focus.
Yo, you know it.
All right, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'm casting Call Lightning.
Okay. Radius, and where would you like to send
60-foot radius.
Whoa!
So
You can hit like every.
yeah, it's gonna go basically kind of on the dividing water and sand, but in between the two boats.
in between the two boats?
I think so.
Like, let me give you like an
Sorry, it lives.
That's okay. Like, here's a 60-foot radius between the two
so
boats. Like, who do you want to
60-foot
include?
radius?
I mean, does
It
that
doesn't
that
hit everything. He has to call down a bolt of
Yeah.
lightning.
Oh,
The storm is a
I see,
60-foot radius.
Yeah, you can move it. If you can move it
I
like
see.
closer to the water, just so it encompasses a bit more of the ships.
Yep.
Like ice storm.
Like that way a little bit?
Yeah, like right there, but still still encompassing Caddy.
Oh, yeah. This is Caddy
Oh,
here.
he's right
Yeah,
here.
Caddy's
Oh.
right here at the edge of the ship. So that's him.
Then actually move it a
Vigos
little
are
back
out.
on shore.
Okay.
I don't want him to get away.
They're back.
But
I told you they're back.
cool.
Does this block vision in any way?
No, it's up in the sky.
Okay.
It's like clouds.
Yeah,
up
and then just a little bit more south. Thank you. Perfect.
Right, yep.
Right there is good.
Got it.
That's probably where it was. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay. The swirling clouds begin to form overhead. Suddenly, the bright, sunny day just starts to dim overhead, and you watch the clouds form and swirl. And then, I believe, you can call on this turn, I think. The storm clouds appear. When you cast a spell, choose a point under the cloud, and a bolt of lightning strikes down, and every creature within 5 feet of that point. So that's where you get.
There's like a group of sailors on the ship here.
Yes, there's a group of sailors here. If you put it here, you could probably hit all 3 of those.
Right there.
Okay.
Wow. And light that fucking sail on fire, baby.
Yep, it's definitely going to. Okay, so what kind of save is it?
This is naughty.
It's a dexterity
Yeah.
save.
Dexterity save. Okay, all 3 of them are gonna make dexterity saves. Right. That is 13.
I don't think that's gonna pass.
9. Do you have yours?
You have 15 spell save.
Yeah,
15, so that fails, and then on a 10. So all three are gonna fail. So go ahead and roll 3d10.
Fucking drop dead.
No, Anthony. These are just sailors.
2, 3,
Oh, damn it.
and 1.
That will not.
Six damage. On 3d10.
God
Wow,
damn
you
it.
really are all related.
Shut up.
You really are.
We're just too filled with rage to focus fully right now.
True.
You don't even cast it on Caddy. You look at him and you're like,
Yeah. Well, how does the ship sail fare?
it immediately catches on fire. The
Perfect.
sail of the ship and the deck, right? You can see as the lightning's coming down, they're way too slow. It happens in slow motion, but they all like try to dive out of the way. And the flames start to form, and that like little grate there just like splinters, pieces of wood go flying in every direction. So all three of them took 6 there. It's gonna be hard to keep track of all these. That and the
Can I
like.
help you?
It's okay. The ability
Oh,
to
the
like.
notes thing?
Yeah. That,
What can I help with?
No, it's fine. I'm just keeping track of all the HP.
Okay.
Okay.
And
help.
bonus action gonna go into my starry form.
Okay, great.
And I will choose the archer again.
You watch Sascha shift into kind of a dark constellation form, and I believe on the turn you activate it. Can you use its thing?
It's a. I think it's a bonus action.
As a bonus action.
As a bonus
you
action.
can take the starry
But
form.
turning into the starry form was my bonus action.
When you activate this form, and as a bonus action on subsequent turns, so you can indeed do that. Ranged spell attack.
Oh, right at Caddy.
Okay, make a ranged spell attack roll.
Oh my god.
20. Dirty 20.
Let me double check.
Uh-oh. That's
He's
Orba.
too far away. Oh.
Oh, that's Orba.
You could probably move forward. He's 70. You
Oh,
could
I
move
can
forward.
move
Yeah, you can move
first.
forward. Yep, you can. Yes, you may.
Yeah.
And dirty 20 will hit, so you can roll for damage.
What's the
Okay.
spell you're using?
It's
It's his starry form. It's not a
Oh,
spell.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a circle of stars.
And that is 1d8 plus my wisdom modifier. 5 plus 4 is 9.
Wow. Damage, okay. You transform into that form, and immediately a number of the sailors sort of like seeing something they've never seen before, and you fire off this like constellation light from your fingers. And Caddy tries to he doesn't have a shield, so he has a blade, and he brings it up and tries to block it with the blade, and it splits in two and shoots him with both of the things. And you can see him sort of. Fuck. All right.
You sure you don't have those artifacts?
The ringing in his ears
Yeah,
is keeping him from even hearing anything that you're saying to him.
All right, Rumik's next.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Am I within 40 feet of him?
You boys.
Double barbarian boys. You might be a little further than that.
I'll jump if I got to.
45 feet.
I'll
You
do
could
a
take a
10
running
foot,
start
yeah.
and jump. Yep.
I don't remember how you said we were changing jump a little bit.
If it's a magical jump, you're able to jump more than your move distance, but you can't move after you've landed.
Got
So
it.
you can run, jump, and then where you land is where you land.
Okay, so that's gonna be 18, 14 athletics, so a 32-foot jump.
That'll get you there.
Okay, I'm gonna land next to him, and
Like a puff of sand goes up in the air as you hit the ground.
during jump, I'm going to start my rage here.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the form of the beast and grab my claws.
Okay.
And I'm going to. I mean, I feel bad.
Oh my what? What are we doing?
Well, no,
We're not backing out.
I don't.
You don't have
Not
to
backing
kill
Well,
him.
I think I'm gonna do everything in this fight non-lethal if possible.
Okay.
'Cause
Here we
I don't
go.
want to kill people, but I want them to learn a lesson. So I'm gonna take my claws and non-lethally double attack
Okay,
here.
give me some attacks.
Did we say that non-lethal could only be bludgeoning? Because if that's slashing
That's
damage,
true. It has to be bludgeoning damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
just
You're
start.
reminding
You're
her
fine to
non-lethal.
start with. You're not gonna kill him on the first
Okay,
turn.
yeah, okay. Well, I'm still going claws.
This is
I'm pretty
fine.
angry. And while I'm in the air, just the il-Vigos are not cowards, and then go down.
He's like
Oh my
freaking
god,
out.
terrible. That's gonna be a 12 to hit
That's gonna miss.
and an 11 to hit.
That's gonna
Oh,
miss.
you
and
missed.
I get my third attack with the claw.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 26.
That'll hit. Yeah, he dodges out of the. Not even artfully dodging it, just in sheer panic, takes steps back. At one time, your claw hits the flat of his saber and almost knocks it out of his hands, and then finally that last claw hits.
Boom. Okay, that's gonna be 3, so 7 damage.
7 damage.
Oh, and I'm raging, so 9.
Okay.
Oh my
9 slash.
You slash him, and as he turns his head, he comes back, and the other half of his lip is like hanging loose.
Oh, that's
like
a
bleeding
good
down.
sign.
That's an improvement.
Oh my god.
Guys.
Okay.
Naughty.
Who's next?
After Rumik, it's Caddy.
Caddy. Okay. So after taking a beating there, he is going to first back up. You can take an opportunity attack. if
Yes,
you
I would love to.
You may.
14.
14 will hit.
Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay, great. And he's moving as quickly as he can through the sand, which is, it's not difficult terrain. The sand is like pretty hard in this area. So he's gonna back up 30 feet there. And he's gonna take out a little hand crossbow, and as he does, he takes something else out of his pocket and loads it in.
Uh-oh.
The bolt of the crossbow is like dripping with a little something on the edge of it, and he takes it out and fires at everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you look surprised? He just slashed his fucking lips off.
That is a natural 20.
Correction.
Oh,
my
He
shit.
slashed his lip off.
Let me make sure.
Poor guy.
Right on this.
Oh no.
Do lesser restoration anymore.
It's okay.
He gets poisoned.
You take 5 piercing damage.
Have to 2 or 3, I forget.
Have downed. So,
Okay, so
yep,
2.
so 2. And then I need you to make a saving throw. Let me check which one. Oops. Had this page up. Give me 1 second. I think it's Constitution.
Please be con. Please be con.
I think it is going to be Constitution, but give me 1 second. I had this up. Yep, Constitution. saving
Yes.
throw. Yep.
Okay, so that's gonna be 17.
17. That will save.
Hopefully that just means you're not poisoned.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's a lot of dice.
25 poison damage halved because of the save.
Okay.
So 12 poison damage
Okay,
that you
that's
take.
fine. That's fine.
So once you get hit with the dart and you immediately pull it out, but it's already like eating away at this flesh there, and it makes kind of a perfect little circle on your skin where a little bit of blood comes out and it congeals instantly. Like whatever venom is in it, it starts to congeal. Okay, use movement action.
I don't care about killing him anymore.
He can dash as a bonus action, which he will do. So he's going to even go further.
Oh god.
30 feet.
Go get him, buddy.
Okay, that is Caddy's turn.
Graven.
All right, great.
I'm in the middle of popping this guy.
Yes. So if you attack that guy this turn, you
Yeah.
have advantage on the attack.
Okay. I will rage, but not reckless attack.
Okay.
Alright, it's one rage. One turn.
This guy like had a crate in his hands. He's like,
I will try to non-lethally pop him with this
Not our
totem
best
right now. So advantage, you said.
Wow.
You chooch.
Well, one of them is fine. 15 to hit.
that'll hit.
Okay. It's 2d6 plus 3, 4, 7, plus another 2, so 9 bludgeoning.
9 bludgeoning. Okay, excellent. You hit him in the chest, and the crate like explodes in his hands as you push through it. It looked like it had a bunch of. This crate in particular was mostly mundane goods. Like it had some
Okay.
fish, like some
Okay.
food items.
Oh my god.
We're fucking these people up over.
Anything else?
Right.
Sorry.
I mean, I can attack again.
Yes, as part of
so I will attack him again.
You don't have advantage on this unless you reckless, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Come around for another strike with the totem.
And a hit.
That's gonna miss.
Damn it.
Oh, this is
All
He
right.
just cowers, and you just swing the totem over his head.
Anyone who wants to live will lay down in the beach.
Give me an intimidation.
Ooh, good call.
Intimidation, you say? 14.
14. Okay. You see some fear in the two that are closer to you. You see some fear sink into their eyes, but they look back and they see that a number of their allies are still alive. Like until maybe some numbers are dwindling, they still feel like even though you're a threat, that they might have the numbers advantage on you guys. So it's difficult to sort of intimidate them in that way.
All right. I will. Oh, Ancestral Guardians. So if that person attacks me, if that creature that I attacked attacks anybody else except for me next turn, they'll have disadvantage.
Okay, great. Sort
yeah.
of the spirit sort of calling upon that person to come at you.
Oh yeah, as I scream that, there's like these wisps of like specters coming from the totem that like stand next to me and like stand over this guy as he's cowering, and I'm just like,
Okay.
Cool. And I'm still there, kind of with two guys. They both are.
Yeah, there's 2 by the wagons there, yep, and
All
then
right.
another one a little bit. Oh no, that's Rumik, and then 2 more over here.
I'll stick here for now.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, real quick. I will actually just skirt myself around him so that I'm on the northeast side of him, behind him, according to the boats. Yeah.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sure.
All right, sailors.
All right, so the sailors, hearing Caddy call them to action, the 4 people on the boat who just sort of dove out of the way of the lightning strike immediately come over to the side of the boat and, like, almost in unison, by chance, draw bows, and all of them fire a bunch of arrows off the side of the boat.
I did not reckless because I did not want a bunch of advantaged arrows on me.
That's a good call.
Okay, and seeing that, give me a sleight of hand check against their perception to see if they can tell that you were the one who it seems to be calling the lightning.
Sure.
Ooh.
11.
I rolled a 17.
Okay, great.
And I don't know what my.
So they come over to the edge of the boat, and they seem to be aware that it's a like it formed so quickly that it seemed to be a magical kind of lightning. But they're looking around, and they're not able to discern who it was that that is doing that. So they're just gonna fire for the closest target, which is Graven here.
Okay.
This is gonna be 4.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's all
Hey,
fine.
I got resistance to
This is the
piercing.
best
and-
combat music.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. 8 to hit,
Miss.
12 to hit,
Miss.
19 to hit,
Hit.
and 21 to hit.
Also.
Oh, boys.
These are just regular arrows. They don't seem to be like poison tipped or anything.
Sick.
That is 5 piercing and 9 piercing.
So now, do I have rounded down on both of those?
Yep.
So one goes to 2 and one goes to 4.
Yeah,
So 6.
Great. So Graven, in his sort of rage that you haven't felt this feeling before, but as the arrows hit you, they just don't have the impact. You've been hit by arrows before as a cleric, and they really feel like they sink in, but you just like shrug the arrows off.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the 4 on the boat. These 2 are also gonna attack Graven here. They take out some, they just look like sabers that they have on their belt there. One of them takes out a saber and then reaches behind, and he's got a little bottle too. He doesn't like rub it on the saber, but he has a bottle of some kind of liquid there.
Okay.
But they're gonna make a regular attack first. 11 to hit.
Miss.
15 to hit.
Miss.
Nice.
Graven pushes the 2 swinging sabers out of the way, and then as a bonus action, this guy's gonna try and dump this liquid on you. I need you to give me a Constitution. Give me a Dexterity save first.
Which I think I get advantage if I see him
Yes,
try
you
that.
do, yep.
Danger sense. So dexterity save first will be 2 14s. 14.
That's 14 total.
Yeah,
That's-
14
that's
total.
a save.
Okay.
So as he goes to dump it, this one, because he used it as a bonus action, you sort of grab his wrist and push it away. And as he looks at his bottle, he's already poured all of it out. You don't get any of it on you. You're able to evade it completely. Okay.
Fucking fool.
These 2 are gonna come up here. This one's gonna attack Rumik with a saber as well.
Okay.
That's 7 to hit. And then he too is gonna throw sort of dump as a bonus action.
Okay.
They all seem to have they have some competence in poisons. Like they seem
Yeah.
to know how to handle them. A number of them have. So give me a dexterity save.
Okay, it's gonna be 11.
11's gonna fail. So now you need to give me a Constitution save.
God,
Okay, that's
Rumik,
okay, that's
you
okay.
can bust it.
Oh, did you have advantage on that dex save as well, like I did?
Yes, danger
You're
sense.
already a better barbarian than I am. I already rolled for the.
Look out.
I already rolled for the con save. Do you want me to?
Give me the dex
Okay.
save. Give me
That's worse. Nice.
Okay, great. So give me the con save.
Okay.
I'll give you a new.
Are you within 30 feet of me?
Close. Nope, not quite. 45.
That's okay. 20, dirty 20
Okay,
for
that is going to be half damage, so it feels like another sort of vial of caustic, acidic poison. And you take half of 14, so 7 acid damage.
Okay.
You see the steam rising from your skin. Okay, the other one's just going to fire a little hand crossbow.
Okay.
12 to hit.
No.
It's gonna miss. Goes into the sand behind you. That person's gonna back up a little bit because they're a ranged crossbow there.
Stay on caddy.
And then this one's gonna move forward a little bit so that he can then fire a bow at you as well.
What are you gonna do?
14 to hit.
14 misses.
14 misses. Another arrow goes wide, sticks into the beach there. And then one person peeking over the edge of the ship here is also going to go for Rumik.
Okay.
That is a longbow instead of a crossbow. 13 to hit. That's going to miss.
That misses.
Right? Arrows sticking into the beach all around you, but all of those are going to miss.
It's fine.
That is the turn of the sailors.
Okay.
Come on, all right, it's Reaper Orba.
Okay.
Hey. Let's go.
Orba watching the chaos unfold before her. Graven's like pummeling this guy with a totem. There's lightning coming down from above.
Hey, you're an il-Vigos now.
Yeah,
You're
family now.
part of it.
The horse right in front of you is like.
I said I always wanted older brothers, and I'm gonna take out my skull.
Okay.
And I am going to cast Summon Undead.
Okay.
What?
And I am going to.
Hell
Yeah. And I'm gonna create a ghostly figure up where the archers are, if that is within 90 feet of me.
Let's see. What a favorited undead. It's like a ghostly figure.
Yeah, little spirit boy.
Okay, let me go the undead here. There we go. We'll use that. Where do you want it?
Within 90 feet of me, but like on the boat.
Do you want it to be up on the boat?
Yeah.
Mick can be.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah.
Yeah. Can I have it be
Oops.
directly behind all those boys, kind of where the.
It's gone. There it is.
Have any? Thank you.
Where would you like? Right behind them.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I want it to like come out from under the boat so it like slowly rises behind them and just.
Because they're all like on the edge looking over, they look back and it looks like the spirit came up from where the lightning bolt hit the ship. Like it rises up out of the deck a little bit, and the guys on the boat are like, hey, what the fuck? Okay.
Yes. Okay, and then ooh, I got something in my eye. Can I go back to me for a second?
Yes.
We'll have his turn in a moment.
Yep.
Graven, you okay? Yeah. All right. Orba's gonna just kind of hang out by this horse.
Okay.
Try to take
You'd
a
like
little.
to get closer to it?
Yeah, I'll try to get like a good horsey, and I'm gonna try to put its body in front of me.
Give me an animal handling check.
Oh shit! Why did I go toward the horse? Honoring. Small 8.
8. It seems unresponsive. As you try to get kind of interposing it between you and the battle, it like moves a little bit so that it's not being used as a meat shield there.
Nice, smart horse.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's my turn.
And then does it act right after you?
Right after me,
Great.
yeah. So this little guy.
What's it gonna do?
Let's say it's gonna. They're all like the same, right?
They seem to be roughly the same,
Fucking
like
people.
weapons. And...
Okay, I'm just gonna have him make like a deathly touch attack. So melee weapon attack, spell attack modifier to hit. Oh my god, so +4, right? 6 to hit.
That's gonna miss.
Yeah.
So even in his panic, sort of looking back, the guys are able to kind of dodge out of the way of this ghost.
Okay, but I will have him be like.
Okay.
How is the sail down and how is it on fire? Like, if
Like the cloth part is on fire, and it seems like part of the mast is also sort of damaged.
Oh, but it's not fallen or anything.
It hasn't fully collapsed. No.
Okay,
It's on fire.
Okay, can I have the ghost? No, I'm gonna stay within melee range.
Okay, give me an intimidation check as well.
Yes, I would love to. Okay. 13?
13, all right, that's good enough for one of them. One of them, they all kind of turn and see this, and this one guy on the edge sort of turns, oh fuck that. And he looks like he's gonna jump up over the edge here.
That's what we wanted.
He can't do it on this turn, but he's gonna jump over the edge.
That's it. That's my turn.
Okay, who's next?
It's top of the lineup with Sascha.
All right, Sasha.
Where am I?
You're
again?
here by this tree, right there,
Right there. Okay. And this is Rumik with. Is that with Caddy or somebody else?
No, that's someone else.
Caddy is all the way over. He's
Caddy's
still
all
in
the way
the
over there.
storm, but he is
Okay.
all the way over here.
I'm going to spend. Let's see. I'm going to. I lost where I am.
You're right by this tree.
Oh, I'm by this tree.
Yep,
Okay.
right by that.
So I'm gonna run over by where Graven is.
Okay.
For now, what is that? Let's say it's 15 feet.
Yep, we can stop.
Let's
at
say half
15.
my movement. And I'm gonna turn to these two guys, and with one arm up in the sky, crackling with lightning, and my eyes filled with starlight, a starlight bolt arrow forming in my hand, I'm just gonna turn to them and say, "You sure you guys want to stick around?" I'm trying to intimidate them, see if they run away. And I'm gonna call down lightning on these sailors.
Okay,
First.
let's do that first. On the boat.
As right after I say it, lightning on those sailors.
Okay, so in order to hit 3 of them
On this middle sailor.
on this middle sailor,
I
great.
mean, they're within 5 feet of each other.
It
right?
will just also hit the ghost, but that's okay. It's a ghost.
Orba and I can talk about that later.
Great. So 3 saving throws. It's everything within 5 feet of the bolt. Yeah. So
What kind of damage is it? Lightning?
yeah, and it's a saving throw.
Oh, I have to make
Dexterity
a saving throw.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw. Oh my god. These are all gonna 13, 10, 8. Those are all gonna
bonuses.
fail.
Just making sure nothing.
You rolling for your ghost?
I have to. 14. I'm not proficient in anything as a ghost, right?
It would say if it has saving throw proficiencies.
Okay, it does not.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, 14.
So that's gonna fail too. So I all fail. Roll 3d10. 2, 4, 10.
16.
16 total. Great. Another crash of lightning comes down. They all failed that. All 3 of these die here.
Oh, what?
The lightning comes crashing down, and they look up to see the bolt, and the only one that avoids it is the guy who's already moving over the edge of the boat. He looks back. And he seems like he's again trying to jump. Your ghost takes 16 as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Orba.
Good job, bro.
Give me an intimidation check now that you called the lightning down.
Okay, 16.
16. You look at them, reach up your hand, call the lightning down, and they sort of with swords in hand. And they are considering very much in that moment. Any other movement? You have 15 feet of movement. You also have bonus actions too.
Yes, I am going to go a little further south.
Okay.
Yeah, about there.
15 takes you basically to the edge of the storm.
Yeah, and a little ways to the
Like this way?
east. No, that.
Oh, the other way.
Sorry.
Hiding behind the tree a little bit there?
No, in front of the tree. Sorry, it's really bad.
That's fine.
I just want to be able to throw one of my arrows at Caddy.
I think he might be. It's what?
See.
60-foot range?
It
Might be
is-
too far there.
Is he?
80 feet, yeah. He's a little too far. There's other people you can hit, but not him. Yeah, he was able to dash as well.
Yeah.
Actually. There's other ones. There's the 2 that you intimidated. There's
I'll
the
throw it at one of the. I'll throw it at the guy attacking Rumik.
Okay, great. Give me a ranged spell attack there.
I mean, getting rid of 3 at once, that was...
Yeah, it's huge. That's 13 plus 4 is 17.
That will hit. Roll for damage. And this is the one that Rumik was already hit.
You look consternation.
1d8, I think.
Some of this stuff is
Yeah.
hard.
That is a 6 plus 4 is 10.
Oh no, this guy's not hit. 10 damage.
Yeah.
Great. This one is not damaged because this one ran up to Rumik. Great. So he gets hit by that constellation. Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him there. Okay, who's next?
Who's I?
Rumik.
All right.
Okay. Sascha, I leave this guy to you, and I'm gonna run and jump. I'm not leaving Caddy. He's not
Okay.
getting out of there. So I'm gonna do another jump.
Yeah, let me do 20. This is gonna be an attack of opportunity before you do that. He's gonna take an attack.
Thank you.
Okay, 19 to hit.
No, you're totally fine.
19 to hit on the attack of opportunity.
That does hit.
Roll little bit of slash. 6 slashing damage. You get cut there.
Is
on
that
the
already halved?
No, that's not half. So go ahead and have it. And then what is your jump distance?
I rolled a nat 20, so that's gonna be
Nice.
27 plus 18.
And
so
with an inhuman leaping jump, hurtling across the beach, the people who are like watching you, you jump and they can't even track you fast enough. Like they're turning and you're already by
so
them.
cool.
You
I
land
wanna,
on the sand.
as I come down, grab him around the head and put a claw to his face, and try to grapple him.
Okay, give me a contested athletics.
Okay.
14?
15.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
That does take one of your attacks to
Yeah.
grapple. Yep.
And I'm actually not gonna attack him. I'm gonna look to the guy next to him and just yell out, "Anyone moves, the captain dies!"
Give me an intimidation check.
Oh no.
So it's 4.
4.
Your voice
You
cracked
see them.
all
and they don't sort of respond to that specifically, but some of them are looking around and they're like, fuck the captain. They seem to be fighting for their lives, not for his honor or anything to that degree. So he's grappled. You still have...
Am I still able to do something even with doing that?
Yeah, I think you can use that in place of an attack action, so you can still make an attack action.
Okay.
Sick.
If that...
Got
I
that
guess-
fish, got him like
Looking at the
If
reaction...
you're able to make multiple attacks, this replaces one of them. So yes, you can grapple and then still attack.
Okay, cool. Then seeing the reactions of the sailors, be like, well, I guess he's dying. So I'm gonna go for a claw attack.
Okay. Can't non-lethal, but you can claw attack.
That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. 6 plus 4. Okay, 9 plus 2, 11. Slashing.
And this guy in your arms is just, you have a limp, and his hat kind of falls off and onto the
Can I
beach
catch
there.
the hat?
Yeah, you
and
can.
put it on my head and look at the guy next to me.
You can.
I am the captain now.
He looks to you, he's got his saber in his hand. Captain. He looks like he's turning around.
Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna my turn there.
Who's up next?
Daddy's dead.
Caddy.
Yep, he's dead. Graven.
So, okay, that all just happened.
Yep.
These guys just got pretty intimidated by him. So
Yep.
I'm like lifting the totem like, last chance.
I mean,
because I told them that I told those who didn't want to die to lay down. So like, drop your weapons.
they look worried. I mean, they can't move on not their turn, but they look worried.
Gotcha. I'll swing for the one who tried to put that shit on me.
Okay, great. Give me an attack roll.
Yep. I will
was-
reckless attack this time.
Okay.
Just for funsies. Nine to hit.
That will miss. You are within.
Wheel.
What do I add to
within
this?
30 feet.
You add a
D6, I
D6.
think.
Add a D6.
It was a
Do
2
I
and a
roll-
3 for
do I roll
those
it?
wondering.
We'll roll it. Yeah. Sascha rolls the extra.
Shut your mouth. So I rolled 9.
It's a 2.
Add
11
2.
to hit.
Don't touch me.
You're a accessory to murder
With
now.
madness in his eyes, Graven swings recklessly the totem, and the guy like just takes one step back, and he's just like out of the range of the totem.
My second reckless attack
You may.
with advantage, non-lethal. Let's see how that goes. 17 to hit this
That will
time.
hit.
Oh my god. Quiet you. Shut up. God. 9 bludgeoning.
damage. Okay. Spitting out a couple teeth there.
Yeah. I attacked the other guy this time, right? It wasn't the same guy that I hit the first time.
Yeah, because that wasn't the poison guy.
Yeah, okay. And if he attacks anybody other than me the next turn,
Right.
it's with disadvantage.
Okay.
All right.
Who's up next?
For us.
Sailors.
The sailors. Okay. This guy, we're gonna do him first. He leaps off the edge. He is wading through the water. He takes a potion out, but you recognize it. It looks kind of bluish. Pops it.
Oh.
And then
going
he-
for a swim. Oh my god.
Goes into
Good.
the water there.
Happy swim. Piss off.
And he has an action too. assume it's only 30 feet there. Great. He heads into the water. These two start to run. This one, would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, well, non-lethal. Is it I'm not still getting the reckless. No, it was only first attack.
Oh, that's okay. We're already past it.
Wait. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon
Yeah.
attack rolls using strength during this turn.
During this turn. But
Got it.
you don't have it now. This isn't your turn.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just making a regular roll
Yep.
of attack.
Regular attack of opportunity.
14 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. Non-lethally again. That one's 8, 10, 13 bludgeoning.
Okay, I need you to make a D20 roll here.
Okay. No, I don't add.
No.
8.
Whoa. As you're reaching out with the totem and you hit them in like rabbit punch back of the neck, it seemed like he was reaching to grab something from the cart. Like he was trying to grab something while he was like running away,
yeah.
maybe something valuable, and he just gets into the sand.
And that was the one who would have had advantage on me from the Ancestral
Yes.
Guardians. Okay.
Now this one, you can't make an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
30 feet, he's gonna dash another 30 feet, heading in that direction. Who else have we got here?
Think again before crossing the il-Vigos.
We've got a couple people left.
Oh shit.
This one here, who saw the carnage, is gonna run in this direction. 60 feet, they seem to be running north. This one looks to Rumik, and he sees his companion kind of run away to the north there. I'm gonna
Go for it.
Oh my god.
60 feet. And this one comes up onto the bow of the ship, sort of wielding his little hand crossbow there. Cowards! He's gonna fire at Rumik. 17 to hit.
That does
Real
hit.
good. He's like, the dude's like a halfling. He's like 4'2". He's like,
4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
For half the 2.
I work with a bunch of fucking
Con save 20.
That will definitely save. You take half of 12, so 6 acid damage. He sees you get hit by the acid, and just as like it doesn't hurt that much, but just as a reflex, you kind of grab it, sort of wince a little bit, and he sees you wince, and he sort of.
Oh my god.
I like you.
And the last one is.
You shall be my first mate.
This guy's gonna try and give you kind of a wide berth here, but he's also gonna run to the north, and that's the last one. Who's up?
Orba.
All right, Orba.
All right, so seeing this guy that's running towards Verne,
Yes.
she's gonna run toward him.
Okay. Would you like to get all the way up to him? You can.
Yeah.
Or if you're trying to make a melee attack, do you have?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. You're not within 5 feet.
Okay, well, as I'm running behind him, excuse me, would you mind just going the other way? We're trying to go south.
Make a persuasion.
Oh my god.
7.
7. He like kind of looks to you, and he's afraid of you, but he also seems like he thinks you're tricking him. Like you're like, turn around and we'll let you go. He's like, and he looks like he's still running in the other direction.
Okay, and I still have an action, so
Yep.
I'm gonna use my action to run like 30 feet in front of him.
Okay.
And do like a
Okay. Great.
and that's my turn.
All right.
And then it's a ghost.
Turn. Yeah.
I'm gonna have him kind of just follow behind me, I suppose, so he can use 40 feet of flying movement.
He has like hover. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
hover.
Yeah. So 40 feet.
Yeah. And then can he use his action to also?
He can dash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's have him
Another
dash.
40 feet. 40 feet gets you like all the way, not quite all the way up to it, but pretty close.
Can he flank? Not flank. Sorry. Can he go to the west?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like over here.
Yeah. Just so if he turns around, there's not a fucking ghost right behind him. Cool.
Sure.
That's my turn.
Okay. That's nice.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. He's gonna turn around and that.
Ghost goes top of the lineup.
Sascha.
All right, Sasha, you are, I think, right on the edge of your storm here. What would you like to
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna run sort of to the center of my circle here.
do? 30 feet.
30 feet
there, yeah.
movement.
So So the only active fighter, it seems, is the guy on the bow of the ship with the crossbow.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout to him and say, oh, God, he's not gonna do it.
No, he's not. He's a little shit.
Lay down your arms and speak to us about the artifacts we lost, and we'll let you go.
Shut the fuck up!
I strike him with lightning.
Okay, 18.
Oh.
It's gonna save,
my
so half
God.
damage.
This guy's gonna take out our whole party.
That is
Legend of the Sea.
Yeah.
6, 2, and a 9. 62 and a 9.
17, okay. Immediately the bow of the ship starts to come up in flame as well. It's like circling him in flame a little bit. He seems like he's kind of maybe losing his balance a little bit just because it's like
shit.
cracking there. Okay. Take 17.
Will he take half? Because
Oh, you're right.
he saved,
Yep.
right?
So what was that? 8 rounded down. Okay. Anything else? Still a bonus action.
yeah, I'll throw an arrow.
I don't know if he's within range. 60 feet. Yeah, he's out of range there.
Then, oh, that guy's already running away.
He is. Yeah, the only ones within range are running away currently.
No.
Who's up next?
I am.
Rumik.
All right.
I'm gonna look at the people running away and be like, my sailors! Where are you going?
Fuck you!
And say if they don't have any interest, I'm going to jump up onto the bow of the ship.
You may do
Um,
that.
Let's see. Is it for just a standing jump?
You can take a running jump.
Oh, running jump? Okay, perfect. That's going to be a 18, so 35-foot jump.
35. Definitely get you up there.
Boom.
You kind of land in the flames a little bit.
Okay.
Give me a dexterity saving throw. There's really no safe spot to land.
It's going to be an 11.
Okay.
You doing
a bit of fire damage. 2 fire
Oh,
damage.
dexterity saving throw. Thank you so much.
Does he get advantage if he sees it or whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
12.
I mean, yeah, you take 2 fire damage.
No, you're totally.
It's just the flames are just kind of licking at your ankles there. Okay. Yeah, you land on, the weight of you landing on the battleship, it starts to like bend a little further, and you see the guy there.
Okay.
Oh my god.
A little taken aback. Still gonna try to. This guy, I'll try to non-lethal claw attack.
All right.
So
You can't long me the claw slashing damage.
Oh, that's right. It's just bludgeoning. Oh wait, but I'm going to use the Mace of Menace that Graven gave me.
Great, you take that off you go for a whack.
Okay. Nat 1 on the first one.
That will miss.
Okay. Next one is a 3, so 10 to hit. Fuck. Okay. I'm pissed. So on the last attack, I'm gonna claw.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nat 20.
That will.
Okay.
With the claw?
It double 4, 8, 10 slashing.
With the lightning already.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Everyone else is running at this point.
Yes, I do want to try to get to the guy that's still going south.
Okay.
So
Is it your turn now?
if Rumik's done, we mix Caddy. Caddy's dead.
Yep.
If it gets to
There's
me,
this guy here. Yep.
he's not within 40, is he?
Nope. 55
Well,
feet.
if I dash, I believe, and end my turn, I'll lose rage, but I will be ready to do a attack of opportunity
Sure.
if he moves by.
If you dash, you can. You want to get in front of him?
Yes.
Great.
I'll get in front of him. So I think I lose rage if
You do.
if I have
You
it.
didn't get attacked. Didn't attack.
Okay. All right, and yeah, I'm just winding up wherever he's headed. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like going for an attack.
All right.
So
Who's next?
It's him next.
Oh, it's him next.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Orba sort of standing interference there in front of him as he's trying to move down the beach. He does like a little shuffle foot and tries to juke. Give me
Okay.
an acrobatics check.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, so
Acrobatics.
funny. Let's go.
Natural 20.
20.
Oh.
He tries to like go down to the left, and you just like push the totem into the freaking sand, and his head goes into the sand there, and he kind of just like spitting bits of sand. You want me to go the other way?
Yeah.
Yes.
and he's gonna get up and go the other way.
Oh my god.
He used 15 to do that. So
Do I take my?
You can take an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Okay.
Why do we do this? We give people the option to run, and then we hurt them, and then
Natural 20.
God damn. Non-lethal, you fucking.
Yes, it's non-lethal. It's non-lethal.
Go ahead and roll for damage. Jesus.
I've never had 2 20s in a row in my life. Oh my god.
Yeah, run the other way.
Like there, I could have caught him, or
Oh my god.
10.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's 23 bludgeoning
You
damage.
automatically succeed on a non-lethal
Did you
attempt.
not watch my Instagram video?
Oh.
If you are attempting to non-lethal and you crit, because a crit isn't just doing the most damage, it's doing exactly what you tried to do. So you perfectly hit him on the side of the
I want to
head.
like clip him or something. Yeah, like just clip
And he
him
just
so
kind
that
of he goes like sliding across the sand a little bit, and he's knocked out cold there. The other ones are running further north. Is anyone going after them or doing anything to those last ones?
Now that the fact that I succeeded this guy, no. I'm
Right.
good.
Okay. Then we'll come out of combat here.
Amazing.
For urgency's sake,
Yes.
Rumik was really worried about the goods, and the ships are burning. Is there anything on the ship that I'm on?
Give me an investigation check.
I would like to start heading towards whatever ships are on fire.
Sure.
They're both on
They're
fire.
both on fire. yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll join them. I'm gonna sit him up against the one of the
I don't
carts.
have the map. You're sitting him up.
But
against
yeah,
the
I'll
fire.
sit him up against a cart so that he's not like suffocating on
Okay,
sand
sure.
or whatever.
With a -1, 18.
18. Okay. And then Orba wanted to look as well.
Yes,
I'll
what
say
am I
that
missing?
you were the second. You were the closest to the other one. Give me an investigation check as well. You sort of run and jump onto the ladder there. It's burning a little bit, but you sort of pull yourself up onto the ship just to get a quick look around
10.
and see. 10. It seems like most of the goods have been like already taken off of the ship here. There's some mundane things. There was a few racks of weapons, some crossbow bolts. I'm gonna say with the 18 that you had, it looked like they were in the midst of packing up a crate of bottles, like poisons maybe, that are still on the ship. So before the flames like get to those, you reach over, you grab them. Most of the bottles are broken. It looks like there's like 3 intact bottles there. And then you kind of hop down off of the burning ship there, or but unable to find anything that is like beyond a sort of standard trade goods that you would.
Okay. Would I have found any kind of like logbook or correspondence at all?
Nothing of the kind. No.
I also, if I can, would like to jump onto one of the ships and search.
I'm gonna say like you could have helped Orba, but there wasn't much left on the ships. They had already taken
Then
most of the stuff.
whatever's in these carts, I don't know, start opening crates and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so I've sat him up. It's they dropped a few crates, so I'll maybe go through the ones that dropped first to
Yeah,
see if there's anything worth other than fish. So
You have time to go through those. There's a lot of sort of simple supplies like that you would expect. Hides of leather, all kinds of like animal hides, simple weapons, daggers, axes. You find some like nets, like some netting for fishing and stuff. All kinds of, unless you're looking for something specific, I won't go through all the mundane goods that you guys find. And then you also, of note, find a couple of things in the crate. One of them is a crate full of what looks like not poisons, but more bottles. And they look like elixirs of health, which is not a healing potion, but it's similar to like a lesser restoration. It cures like blindness, deafness, paralysis, poison, elixirs of health. There's 12 of them in the crate. It is a full crate of elixirs of health that you locate.
that is tasty. Those are probably worth like hundreds of gold.
They are very valuable.
Great.
They are indeed. In addition to that, you find 2 other crates that have things that aren't just sort of your random assortment, your knickknacks. One crate is full of ammunition of various kinds, arrows, bolts, sling, like rocks for a sling, but they seem incredibly finely crafted. Like all the fletching is perfectly adorned. They're in these little neat rows here in this box that they've been put into. There's like a padded cover that went over the top of the box. For mechanics' sake, these are all +2 pieces of ammunition. Like they're very, very intricately crafted pieces of ammunition. There's probably, a dozen of each kind. A dozen bolts, a dozen longbow arrows, a dozen sling bolts, sling rocks. You find that as well. The third crate has less because some of them are broken as well, but it looks like another crate of poisons. This crate of poisons, they're bottles, but they don't have liquid inside. They have like dust. it seems like it's some kind of a poison that would be inhaled. So you might throw it and it would make like a cloud of sort of poisonous dust. So some kind of poison, and there is 7 of those. Okay.
Can I go up to Caddy and just pat him down to see if there was any kind of notes or
Give me an
correspondence with
investigation
the body?
check.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20. He seemed to have a couple pieces of paper in his inner jacket pocket. Most of them are sort of waterlogged and the ink has run. It does seem like he certainly wasn't lying, and the ships told the tale as well. They hit some trouble on the water. Like they, took on a lot of water. The ships were damaged. So some of the notes, some of the letters are, you can't read the writing on them, but from what you can discern, it seems like they were headed to Kirokachun, which is that little island kind of to the north east. That's where Pockets and the ferry was headed. So that seems to be was their destination, was Kirokachun.
And you mean Pockets on the
Favor Ferry
the
that he was
Favor
on?
Ferry.
Yep. They go to
'Cause
Kirokachun.
they go to Kirokachun to like clear it out of creatures?
They hunt giant seahorses, which are very valuable.
Ah, okay.
That's what you heard they do.
Okay. But that's not like Gentle Void territory or anything.
I mean, they have they presumably have some kind of docks or just operation there, because that's where they take that ferry back and forth from.
And I'm sorry, you said it was coming from or going to?
It seemed, from what you can gather, it seemed like the goods were headed there. Like there was a delivery to be made to Kirokachun.
Gentle Void shit.
Whatever.
Okay.
So I've sat him up. He doesn't, like a healer's kit wouldn't do anything for him. Like
It would stabilize him, but I mean, he is stable basically. So
he is stable.
you need
Okay.
to heal him or wait in order to
servant
wake up.
potions?
Oh no, I'm so. I'll just talk this out. I say we put the valuables in the carts. We ride to Verne, sell off what we can, send it to the clans. This fucker, we strap a note to his chest, leave him here to wake up on his own, to say that these fucking broken egg fuckers don't mess with the Mountain-born anymore.
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
I love that idea. I think we should wake him up and question him to see if he knows anything about
Where our
artifacts are, because he may have been part of that crew. And if this fucker wasn't telling the truth, now that he's dead, this guy might. Because I think Caddy was full of shit.
I'll get my 50. I do have a length of 50 feet of rope, and I'll
Tie him
start
up.
tying him up.
I'll heal him. We'll talk to him.
I have one more regular healing potion. I guess if you want to conserve. Yeah,
can do that.
okay. Then, all right. So I'll make sure he's bound like
He's unconscious. Like,
head to toe, like neck to toe. Like this dude is not moving.
Orba, are you doing okay?
Oh, our interrogations just usually don't go very well. I don't enjoy them.
He saw what happened. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You did bonk him as he was trying to run away.
I knew what I was doing. I didn't think I was going to kill him. You saw how well I.
Okay.
Well, you didn't kill him.
Yes.
While you're interrogating this person, I will say maybe some of these supplies would be in good hands with Jillian and Mohan, with their mission. Or we could just help people with it instead of selling it. Those are just my ideas. This is one of those things that I'm not feeling super great about right now. So just think about it. I'm going to be over here while you...
What we could do,
Perhaps split the profits.
but we could just. We have a member of the Hatchlings alive with us.
Yeah?
If he gives us the information we want,
Uh-huh.
he can take these goods to wherever it is they were going.
I see where you're going with this, but
Then at least if this comes back to us, maybe we have some good faith with the Hatchlings.
We won't have any good faith.
I doubt it.
Fair enough.
What I was going to say is if we get him to tell the truth, first about where our things ended up, and second about who these things were going to benefit. And if we could somehow, even split the profits with them to maybe send the money to whoever it was supposed to go to. That way we're splitting the losses with them.
Whatever. I'm just saying. Not feeling super great. Go ahead. Enjoy your interrogation. I'm going to be hanging out with the horses.
Oh,
What?
I was gonna drag him over kind of under the hooves to kind of extra scares.
I'll be under that tree over there.
Orba, I'm sorry I struck your ghost friend.
Oh, he's fine. Come on. And she'll take the ghost. And she'll just hang out with the fucking ghost.
So, one of you, Rumik, hold the reins on the horse.
Yes.
And I'm gonna like drag him over so that were this horse to get riled up, the hooves would be coming down like near his head.
Okay, give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
You're putting him under the horse then?
Well, not under, but like I want him to be like side along with the horse so that the idea is I could like drag him a few extra feet over.
Okay, you don't have to make the check now.
Okay.
Then, if you were...
All right. Can you take the lead? I've got him. You've got the horse.
I have the reins.
He's tied up, yeah.
Yeah, he's
fully
tied up. He's like on the. I've got a knee on him, and I'm holding him.
Okay.
And I'll cast Healing Word on this poor guy.
You watch a little bit of the healing energy seep into him, and his eyes kind of, even without opening his eyes, you see some like movement of the eyeball underneath the lid there, and he kind of, and he looks around to the three Goliaths around him. The relics are in Navikapura.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Well spoken.
We're sorry we had to hit you earlier.
Okay.
Who were these goods for and from?
Delivery for the Gentle Void. Did I mention the artifacts are in Navikapura?
Yes.
It's okay, we're not gonna kill you.
Will you tell the same thing to the Gentle Void that you told us?
He like looks at you. Yes? He's trying to like figure out what you want him to say.
As in the goods were lost, they won't be hearing that a bunch of Goliaths took.
Yeah. Yes.
Does that seem like
Make an insight check. 17. It does seem true.
Okay.
It seems like he's going to say anything to get out of this situation, but it doesn't seem not true. You also get the sense that this guy's not someone who's not, like, this is an easy to manipulate person. So while he is true, if he shows up in the Gentle Void, does something similar to what you're doing, he might spill the beans.
Yeah. Yep.
Whose idea was it to say they lost our goods?
It wasn't mine.
Do you know who?
The captain at the time was Dellinger.
Dellinger.
Is he still a captain?
Yeah. He still does routes up north, up to the Citravada Elves.
Did you all split the profits?
I wasn't on that ship.
Where do the profits usually go when you steal from those who you make deals with?
They split them among whoever's on the boat.
Bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
How did you come by all that information if you weren't on the boat?
He's got a big mouth.
Okay.
Literally. And figuratively.
I get it.
So are we taking the stuff? Because
I think you should take the stuff.
the Gentle Void, do we want them to come after us?
Well, if this guy, and I'll like shake him, is telling the truth, they won't know who took it. I'm gonna... Anything else you want out of this guy?
You like my cloud up there?
I guess.
You see anything like that before?
Like seen like a lightning cloud before? Yes?
No. Like, have you seen somebody conjure something like that?
Oh. No.
Have you seen starry arrows thrown at people before?
No.
How about my friend's ghost? You seen that before?
Not that ghost.
Put my hand on his head.
Any more details?
I'm gonna put a spell on you right now.
Oh, don't do that.
If you leave here and you don't do what we say, or you turn on us, I'll know. And I'll know where you are. And I will come get you.
Are you actually casting a spell on him?
No, it's
Make a deception check. Make it with advantage.
You just turned into fucking Batman, dude. Uh-oh.
It's deception. 18 minus 1 is 17.
You want me to stay here? I'll make a fucking house here. I'll never leave.
Any more details about where they are in Navikapura? Who exactly it got sold to?
A lot of stuff went through a guy named Franco.
With my unarmed strike, that would be a pretty easy check this time, if it's only a flat floor.
Did you roll for the healing word?
I didn't roll.
Go ahead and roll for it now.
Oh,
if you're
shit,
trying to
that's
calculate
right.
that, yeah, go ahead and roll for the healing word.
Don't fucking kill us.
It's impossible to kill him.
I think it's just 1d4
1d4 plus my
spell.
I want him to be out for a little while.
Yeah, 3 plus 4 is 7. 7. So he's got 7 hit points.
I say we knock him out before we leave.
I mean, he was pretty helpful. I think he did good, and he saw what we can do, and he doesn't seem like a bad person.
Drag him over to the tree. Sit him up against the tree. You wait at least a few hours before you go anywhere. North.
You're not gonna untie me?
No.
Okay.
I'm loading up the carts with that stuff.
Okay.
My brother said so.
You guys load the card?
Are they done interrogating?
They
this
walk
man?
away from him. He's sitting, up against that tree. And they walk away from him. You can see them starting to load the goods onto the cart.
Okay.
I mean, it's either knock him out or keep him tied up. One or the other.
What if we only keep him partially tied up, so it's like his arms and like legs
Or
a
we're
little
gonna-
bit?
I don't know if
Or we're
he's
gonna
ever
see
gonna
that they
get
left
out
him
of
tied up and try to sneak somewhere and untie him.
Give me a stealth check.
Eight.
Orba's like moving him from tree to tree, and you guys
I'll
are like
take
loading
Ghost
crates.
too.
And you see over the,
Yeah.
like you can see where she's headed,
Okay, yeah.
like vaguely.
I'll just roll my eyes.
And Orba will instruct the ghost. Can you help me, please? And slowly, her and the ghost are gonna.
What kind?
Well,
is
he
it-
has. Oh no, I was thinking he had like a claw. But
Yeah.
doesn't.
Does he have like a
He's ghost.
slashing damage?
No, he doesn't.
You motion to help, and he starts like.
Wait, never mind. Never mind. Sorry. No killing today. And hi.
And Orba's just gonna take out her dagger and untie the guy.
He doesn't move when the rope comes free. In fact, he like kind of tightens to try and keep the ropes looking like they're like tied around him.
It's fine.
Sorry.
He doesn't say anything.
Okay. Hi.
And then Orba's gonna go back.
Oh my god.
You
Yeah,
guys load up the carts.
Carts are loaded up. We could probably put like one person on each horse and one person on each cart.
Yeah, there's like a bench on the front that you can sit on. So one person per horse, one person per bench. And you guys have like a. Are you taking just the sort of valuable goods, or are you taking pretty much anything you can? Because there was a whole bunch. There's clothes, there's ropes, there's nets, there's supplies, there's kits. Of
Just the valuable stuff, I would say.
Yeah.
Great. So you just take. So there's some room in the cart as well. If you
Keeping the hat though, the captain's hat.
you have the
Oh my
captain's
God.
hat.
God, somebody recognize that shit.
Really quickly, also 2 seconds.
Sure.
While they were interrogating, and I'm with a ghost. Just a quick question for him, like as we're just sitting
Okay,
there,
you
kind of
sure?
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Do you know what happens when the gods take people?
The ghost, not the man that's tied up.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I just realized
Yes,
how you
I
were
did
sitting, and I
not
was like, that doesn't look
understand.
like the ghost.
The guy's like, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh no!
His
So
arms.
you're walking alongside
No,
the
I
ghost.
didn't notice.
These arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah. So while they were interrogating the guy,
Yeah.
I'm with the ghost.
Got it.
Do you know where the gods take people that they take away? Do you know what happens to them if the ties are severed?
Lost.
What does that mean?
The connection must come back to get them back.
As strong as it was, or just a minor connection?
Just a taste.
How long does it take for a god to come back?
Depends on the level of faith demonstrated.
On the continent?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Your migration south continues. The further you go, the more the fine sandy beaches turn to grasses and rocks, so that it becomes kind of an abrupt, jagged coastline, clashing against the sea instead of that sort of easy, gentle down to the water with soothing sandy slopes. Unlike when you set out from Kukati Cove, the contour of the continent is remarkably straight. It allows you to see very clearly for miles ahead of you as long as the balmy weather continues to hold. Even as it gets into the evening hours and the sun begins to set, you start to see signs of an approach to Verne. Most notably, the swaths of land that have been cleared to make room for their famous sprawling vineyards, row after row after row after row of carefully curated grapevines. Graven recalls that during the brief time he was working at Holo de Sophiod, serving as a bodyguard to make a little bit of extra coin, one of their signature and most expensive wines was called Nosy Neighbor. That was one of their wines, and it was sourced from Verne. That was a wine that came from Verne. The rooftops that poke out above the crowded fields offer promise of a comfortable rest. But beyond that, it might be nice to just pass by some ordinary citizens that you don't feel the need to watch your back around, which would be a welcome change from your interactions with the many bandit clans of the Northern Peninsula. When you finally get past the last of the almost hypnotically symmetrical rows of vines, the sun is set, but it isn't dark like it was in the harbor in the woods before that, because you found yourself in a charming little center of town where lanterns are hanging from dozens of stone archways that delineate the various streets of Verne. The aesthetic of this town is almost eccentrically narrow. None of the buildings are taking up more than like a 20 by 20 foot plot of land, but all of them are 3 or 4 stories tall. So they're all these little narrow buildings that pop up. And it seems like it was an effort to cram as many dwellings as possible into where the land is fully flat, because these big sloping hills where all the vineyards are. So it might be very difficult to actually sort of construct on those. So in this little area where the land is flat, all these tall little spire-like buildings are poking up out of the ground. With its modest population, there aren't too many people about at this hour, though there are at least 2 places that are sort of emanating a quiet commotion. You can see patrons in a jovial mood, enjoying a drink or a bite to eat. One of them has a sign out front that reads, "All grapes and sizes," and the other one is unlabeled, but looks more like an inn than a tavern. One has more of kind of an inn look than a tavern look to it. And we're going to move forward a little bit as we're running into the later hours here of this episode. As you guys are investigating a place to sleep for the evening, you find someone, you see like a 4-tiered fountain of water that is over near the tavern, the All Grapes and Sizes, the tavern there. But before you can kind of admire its beauty, this sort of trickling 4-tiered fountain, someone comes like barreling out of the shadows, and they drop to their knees and they start scooping water, like handfuls of water that they're scooping up into their mouths. When the person moves their hands away from their face, you're able to catch sight of them, and you find that it's a Goliath. One that not only do you recognize, it's Skoze, one of the Goliaths that you rescued. And from their sort of look and demeanor, They are parched beyond belief, and their clothes are all sandy and dirt smudged all over their limbs. And as you speak to this person, you find that they've run here from the Wakchu Barrens. They found themselves sort of reintroduced to the world in the Wakchu Barrens, and they sprinted as fast as they could to the closest settlement that they knew was available, which was Verne. You take a little moment to reunite with Skoze and learn a little bit about what they went through, which to you sounds very familiar, the sort of hazy void that they existed in for a period of time. There's some celebration and camaraderie, some hugging, and some, disbelief that they're able to set eyes on Graven once more. In addition, you learn that Skoze, as they came free in the Wakchu Barrens, other Goliaths were seen as well in that same area. As you saw, multiple people got sort of pulled back into the Wakchu Barrens. But there was a problem. A couple of the Goliaths that came to in the Wakchu Barrens, they were quickly snatched up because they were in such a weakened, sort of fatigued state. They were snatched up by a group of Dragonborn that act as slavers. And usually they come into the Wakchu Barrens to kidnap the gnomes that live there, because they're much easier targets. And what they do is they take the gnomes and they take them to a location that you're familiar with, which is the northern Stout Hills, where all those mining operations are. They kidnap them, they take them to the mines, and they sell their labor. They sort of sell them to work the mining operation there in the northern Stout Hills. And they sort of couldn't believe their luck that they came across a couple Goliaths who normally would put up quite a fight, but because they were very fatigued and dehydrated, starving, they were able to capture them and take them there. Skoze explains to you that he came here to get a bite to eat, reinvigorate himself, and possibly recruit some help to get here and pay people, some mercenaries, to help him take a boat along the Free Run River, which, if we have your maps, actually, you can see that river that it's above the Wakchu Barrens, and then it goes further all the way west toward the northern Stout Hills. It's on that larger map. And his plan is to take a boat that he's it sounds like, based on his description, he might have stolen this sort of canoe-like boat, and he plans to take the boat in the direction west and hopefully head off these slavers before they get to the northern Stout Hills. He's looking for help in this, but the boat only seats 3. It's a smaller canoe. And he knows that if you don't take this boat, and Skoze also has some limited magic at his disposal that he can use to manipulate the water. He's able to kind of move the boat very quickly through. And he's worried that if you're not using his boat to get and head them off, that you're not going to reach it in time, that they're going to get to the Stout Hills before that. So what he does is he sort of leaves it to you to decide, hopefully, if someone can help. His ideal plan would be to have a couple people come with him to help, and then reunite with the il-Vigos back in a place of your choosing, that hopefully you guys can all get back together. But right now, the time is very much of the essence. He's worried that if they get all the way to the Stout Hills, it'll be too difficult to extract them from the sort of camps and mining operations that are there.
I would like to go.
I can see that you are anxious too.
And he's giving you a little space. He actually goes inside to get a bite to eat. He's ravenous. You can see he's starving. He goes inside. So he leaves you to discuss this matter.
There. With what we've brought here, I'm sure we could trade enough to outfit whoever goes with. What was the name?
Skoze. S-K-O-Z.
And he was an elder, right?
Yeah, he does look older, yeah. He was an uncle, I think it was.
I mean, that is true. Part of me feels like I don't want to leave because we have family here, and I don't want to. We've just reunited, but there's also family out there
that need us.
And we could hire people with these elixirs and bottles, but I don't know if they would fight as hard as we would for family.
As much as it pains me, Graven, that we have only been reunited so recently, I think Rumik and I should probably go with Skoze.
Time is of the essence. If he can only take 2.
There are, I'm sure, other ways in which you can help the remaining Goliaths. Go find Ayana, see what she knows about the divine connections and how we may be able to get the lost back to us and find those lost artifacts.
Yes. We should get to Navikapura.
Where can we all meet? I want to see the il-Vigos all back together again.
You could head south as well to Navikapura, I think, after that, couldn't you?
You could, yeah. If you circle back, if you were able to head them off, you could circle back around.
It may take some time. We will find family, but to get them back to health and travel as a group, you'll probably get there first.
Just in time for Ayana to get there, one would hope.
Hopefully. I mean, as I said, she should have pretty easily figured out where we were.
Do you know anybody there in Navikapura?
Yeah, we know lots of people.
I know a lot of people. In fact, I know Franco, the name that was given for who might have ended up with a lot of the artifacts.
Do you have any... Is Franco a friend? Do you have friends in Navikapura? That's my question.
We have some associates in Navikapura. Franco, I wouldn't call a friend, but we have had dealings with him. Most of the time, I had to give him a lot of gentle void favors, so...
He's been amenable, but he's a transactional guy.
Yeah.
Somebody you trust. That if we get there, and you maybe have left already.
Yes.
To leave word of where you would have gone.
If you see men in blue robes, tell them that you served the Reaper.
Men in blue robes.
Yes.
We'll find the men in blue robes and ask after you.
Other than that, Fowler, I fought
He might
alongside
be
him.
on a boat.
I don't think he would have moved.
It's in a week.
Right.
Men in blue robes. They're locals of Navikapura. They work with Cliff Ironclad, who basically runs the city.
You know the name Ironclad. He doesn't run Navikapura, but he's a very notable figure there.
No, he's like basically in charge.
Oh my god, what's the name of the local militia guy that I was Detective Gravening with?
Oh my god. Thorsten?
Thorsten Ramaker.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not sure how well the blue robes will be able to put you up or anything, but Thorsten at the local militia, he is a friend.
Thorsten?
Thorsten.
Okay.
And he would be able to at least show you around.
Well,
if you are alone.
We'll try to find you there.
Yes.
But if you have to leave before we get there,
we will leave word with
Thorsten.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Brothers.
We're so short.
I know.
It's not goodbye.
It's not. But
don't get lost again.
You don't get lost again. You got stuck in the void for months.
Ah, well.
That wasn't our fault.
That's because
you didn't say that it was.
You made harsh, Graven.
Okay.
You've shown me so much. Thank you.
Although it was brief, our fight earlier, it felt good to be fighting with family again. With you as well, Orba.
Yes, Orba. Should you ever have need of it, there will be a home for you among Goliaths.
Thanks.
Good luck.
As we take our leave.
I know that you can save them.
Can I give Orba a hug?
You asked him permission to hug me?
Orba, no, I'm telling you. I'm going to give Orba a hug. And I'm going to give Graven a very mighty Goliath hug.
Yes.
I'm also going to kiss him on the cheek. So that he gets a kiss.
Very European, like, cheek, bachi.
Since you're not getting it anywhere else.
Yes. Do you want your maul and your mace?
You don't think you'd have use of them?
I mean, I can fight with anything. I got claws. I got tails. I can...
I'll hold on to them.
All right.
Thank Thank you.
And take this. And I pass the captain's hat
Oh
to
my
him.
God.
You've been
wearing it this whole time?
You are the captain. And we will see you soon.
Yes, sir. Keep those diamonds in case you need them for any magic.
We will.
Safe travels. We'll see you again.
We will.
Another hug.
Yes.
Both of them.
Borrowing some of the lanterns, you sort of look around, unhook a couple of the lanterns, and you walk in the direction of where the river is. And you can already see Skoze in the distance. You're not right next to the river. He's pulled sort of a canoe up onto a cart that has 2 wheels, and now he's like picked it up, and he sees you guys in the distance, and he looks at Graven kind of one last time. He nods to the 2 of you. Starts to pull the cart.
I'm gonna offer to take the cart instead, because if he's looking pretty famished.
Yeah, sure. So he takes one of the sort of sticks, and you take the other, and the 2 of you. Yeah. And they start to disappear, and you watch the lantern light kind of bouncing on the cart, and then it kind of goes over the crest of a small hill, and it disappears.
See him again, Graven.
Still feel them close. And I have you here now, too.
Don't get sick of me.
I would say the same. Sorry about the murdering.
It's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go in and get some food and, I don't know, pig or something?
All right, we didn't get a chance to play with them.
This time.
Next time. A few rounds, yes.
Okay.
You guys head towards the inn. You open the door, and some of the noise that was sort of muffled by the door, and then it closes behind. The door closes. You guys walk inside, and that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much to Stephen and Talon for a phenomenal turn as Sascha and Rumik il-Vigos. They got you through the Shade Assembly out the other side, and even got a little taste of revenge on the way. There's always time.
That was.
Whoa.
I mean,
a whole campaign with you two would be fucking bonkers.
I mean, talk shit.
Get it.
Get it.
It's been a running theme of the campaign.
Exactly. Something we discussed was to like run up to these ships and go, "Listen up, motherfuckers! Lightning! Boom, boom, boom!" We almost might as well have, but
We might as well have, yeah.
It was nice to get a little shit sneer from that
Yeah,
to really.
the worst. If you hadn't talked to him, I would have been a little disappointed.
It's true. He was a great character.
That's where we're going to end tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have one final episode of A Peek Beneath the Veil next week. We'll be wrapping up this campaign. Graven and Orba will take the final steps here as the main journey has run its course. And then we will start talking about what's next. We can give just a little teaser. Our plan currently is to have one more episode of A Peek Beneath the Veil. A talk-back episode where we discuss the events of the campaign, answer some questions, any lingering thoughts and theories. Then we're going to do a little sort of mini dungeon crawl campaign to sort of bridge the gap. It's maybe 4 or 5 episodes, whatever that ends up being, while we prepare for the beginning of campaign 2. So that campaign will be...
A lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of work to do. But that campaign will be... We have some fun things in store, but it'll probably be a little combat heavy. It'll be a little sort of dungeon delvey crawly.
You're talking about the mini one.
The mini.
The in-between
Yes,
campaign
the
one.
in-between campaign. And then we will start ramping up and releasing sort of information about the campaign.
It's coming!
I know.
I can't believe it.
I'm
How
overwhelmed.
long exactly was campaign 1?
So, season 1 of campaign 1 went 100 episodes, and this tonight was 48.
So
So,
almost 150.
Our first episode was
Just
like
about.
April 2019.
yeah.
Holy smokes. What a journey.
There was a few breaks in between as we pushed through tough times,
Yes.
but
Thank you all for being here tonight, and for all of you that have been here for months and have gone back and watched years worth of episodes.
Incredible.
Somehow watch those first 10
We are
episodes.
strong.
And from me and Talon, thank you for
Oh my God!
accepting us and cheering us on. And,
I do have to
mean,
say-
yeah, we had such a great time and being on the chats and everything. It's been great.
I was telling them, joining the Discords and like even just seeing the Twitch chats, they were like reviewing whatever, and just seeing the community. I was like, you guys have something very special here. So yeah, thank you guys.
I can't thank you guys enough for jumping in and coming in with such locked and loaded great characters. This will not be the last that we see of Talon and Steven on Tabletop Notch. I can assure you of that. But that is where we're going to sign off for tonight. We will see everybody next week. For the finale of A Peek Beneath the Veil. Any other parting thoughts?
Oh my God! You can't say those words to me. Oh my God!
I'm in denial. It's fine. It's
I know.
fine. Hold on. I can't remember where I left off, so I'm just gonna go do a couple just quick final shout outs. Oh, yeah, a couple quick final shout outs. We've got Ali Slayer resubscribed. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Rent. I think I said this. Ren gave out a community sub. Half-Baked gave out a community sub. And then Ali Slayer did 300 Bitterinos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We love you all very much. Have a wonderful week. And we'll pick it up at the same time next Sunday, 7 o'clock. For A Peek Beneath the Veil.
I see questions like, "Who's the tallest brother?" Come back for the talkback. Maybe we'll answer.
Submit. We'll have a big submission, question submission. We can talk about that.
All right.
But
Have a great week, everybody.
Shut up.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.